Alive! It's alive! It's alive!
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. It's good to see you guys. Good morning, guys. Good morning. They're about to start here any moments. I figured I'd hop on a little early just in case. I'm trying to get Rumble started. Having a little issue with that. But let's see. Let's see if we can get it going. Hopefully you guys are having a good Tuesday. And it is great to see you guys. Hola. Yes, it is raining here. Yeah, it's been on and off, about an inch and a half or so of rain throughout the night, so it was pretty good. Pretty decent amount. Tuesday's fun is that's it. Will KDL finally resign? I doubt it. Why? When he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to. I mean, he's telling you to fuck off. You're going to pay for it, and that's that. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. So, yeah, there is that. Hopefully Goat Boy calls in. Yeah, hopefully it's a good... it's funny. I was looking at some, videos from 9 months ago back. Man, when, the whole thing started, boy, it was wild. Missed out. I should have been streaming those. I mean, it was wild. It was so packed in there, you couldn't even sit down. It was that packed. It was wild. So, yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully today gets going well. Oh, here we go. Here we go, guys. Here we go. I don't think it's working, but all right.
In today's meeting, as permitted under Assembly Bill 361, public comment will be taken today both via teleconference and here in the council chambers. So
perfect
we are
timing
ready to begin today's meeting. Mr. Clerk,
I am, BJ.
please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah, pothead. It's coming.
De Leon, Harris Dawson, Hernandez.
De Leon. First one.
Lee, McOsker, Park, Price, Rahman, Rodriguez, Soto Martinez, Yaroslavsky. 10 members present and a quorum, Mr. President.
No chase.
Thank you. First order of business.
Approval of the minutes of March 17, 2023.
Councilmember Blumenfield moves. Councilmember McOsker seconds. Next.
It's weird.
Commendatory resolutions for approval.
Councilmember Yaroslavsky moves. Councilmember Rodriguez seconds. Next.
Mr. President, today is Tuesday and it's time for the flag salute.
Oh, like little
Very good.
kids.
If I could ask everyone in chambers to please rise. And Councilmember Lee, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
See, it says it's not streaming, and then it says it's upcoming. It's so weird. Dude, Rumble's weird, man. Rumble's fucking weird.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Clerk, let's run through the agenda, please.
Let's go here.
Items 1 and 2 are items noticed for public hearing. Items 3 through 34 are items for which public hearings have been held. Items 35 through 41 are items for which public hearings have not been held. Items 42 through 48 are closed session items considered by the Budget, Finance, and Innovation Committee. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Oh, sorry,
Very good.
guys.
Thank you. Without objection, members,
fuck,
those
I'm on the
items are
wrong
now
one.
before us.
I
Do members
apologize.
have any items that they would like to call
Get rid of the
special?
stream key,
Councilmember
turn
Soto
that
Martinez.
off. There we go.
Item 3.
Sorry about that, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Any other specials?
Yeah, I don't know why it
Councilmember-
just doesn't
Item
connect.
3 for comments, please.
It should. It's not
Okay.
sending the
Item 3.
data for some reason. So
Okay. Any
I don't
other
see Goat. Oh wait, is he
items
sitting
to be
right
called
there? He might
special?
be. Goat Boy
Councilmember
might
Rahman.
be sitting right there, guys.
Amendment on item 19, which I believe the city
I
attorney.
think he is in the first
Very
row.
good. Could you please read the amendment?
I shall. So the motion is that
It's the camera. It's that setup on that screen. Watch, he'll be less red on this one.
In lieu of recommendation 4 in the committee report, and here's the new recommendation 4, adopt the attached resolution to authorize the Los Angeles Housing Department.
It's just I never adjusted the coloring on that screen because I don't give a shit. Doesn't really matter, I guess, but maybe I'll go
Application
take
round
care of
7 in a total amount not to exceed $200 million.
Yeah, our teachers are on strike right now.
And I will read the moving clauses of the resolution that are incorporated by
We
that
did set
note.
up the other camera too, guys.
Now therefore be resolved that by adoption of this resolution, the Los Angeles Housing Department, the LAHD, on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, the applicant, is hereby authorized and
Stinky's
directed
got
to
his
apply
cat
for and
cam up.
submit to the Department of Housing and Community Development, the department, the Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities, that is the AHSC program application, as detailed in the NOFA dated January 30, 2023 for round 7 in a total amount not to exceed $200 million, of which not more than $140 million will be requested for the affordable housing development and/or
That's not what I'm looking
housing-related infrastructure and/or programs, and not more than $60 million
looks like a
million
cadaver
will be
in
requested
comparison.
for sustainable transportation infrastructure and
Dead or alive.
transit-related
Y'all want to
amenities
see a dead
as
body?
the grants portion of the application for the city as defined in the
Is he wearing lipstick? I can't confirm nor
HSC
deny.
program guidelines issued by the SCG on December 15, 2022. And the not to exceed amount of $200 million includes a maximum of $50 million, up to $35 million in the program, and up to $15 million in the STI TRA for each of the following projects and co-applications with the entities noted below, and those entities are Downtown Women's Center Campus Expansion, HHH New Hampshire, Bridge Housing Corporation,
Helen?
306 East Washington, otherwise known as the Peak
up, D
Plaza
Street?
Apartments, the Hollywood Community Housing Corporation, and Richmond Crenshaw Crossing, La Cienega, LOMDO Incorporated. Be it further resolved that if any of the submitted applications are awarded AHSC funding, the Housing Department General Manager
Cherry
designee
chapstick.
is hereby authorized and directed to enter into, execute, and deliver a State of California standard agreement and any and all other documents required or deemed necessary for appropriate to secure the AHSC program
Get it,
funds
Robert.
from the department and all amendments thereto. Collectively, the AHSC documents. Be it further resolved that the applicant should be subject to the terms and conditions as specified in the standard agreement. Funds are to be used for allowable capital asset projection
Of course, he's a
expenditures
robot.
to be identified in Exhibit A of the standard agreement. The application in full is incorporated as part of the standard agreement. Any and all activities funded, information provided, and timelines represented in the application are enforceable through the standard agreement. And applicant
Rob.
hereby agrees to use the funds for eligible capital assets in the manner presented in the application
Kathy.
as approved by the department in accordance with the NOFA and program guidelines and application package.
It's got a
Be it
reek
further
of
resolved
brute.
that the Housing Department General Manager, in consultation with the Los Angeles Department of Transportation General Manager relative to transportation options, is authorized to negotiate and execute all necessary supporting documents with the Los Angeles County Metropolitan Transit Authority regarding the purchase, maintenance, and operation of transit vehicles in relation to the projects identified in this resolution to satisfy the sustainable transportation infrastructure component
shut up.
of the
Let us
Round
talk.
7 AHSC program, and be it further resolved that the general manager
Morning,
of the Housing
Nancy.
Department or designee is authorized to execute in the name of the applicant
What's up,
the
Tim?
AHSC
Just in
program
time,
application
everybody.
package and the AHSC program documents as required by the department for participation in the AHSC program. That's
Okay.
it.
Kiss,
This will
how
all be
are you?
on-
What's up, Mike?
Thank you for not making me read that. And
Is there
I
a
believe my seconder is Mr. Soto Martinez.
Because I
Mr.
don't know
Soto
how to read.
Martinez, Seconds. Okay. Anything else, Mr. Favre?
I
Anything
also-
else, Councilmember?
No
Allen?
tan?
Yes,
Tan.
is this
Or
I have
sunburned?
No. I
Sun-
may not need that.
regular?
Sorry. give me a second.
Sunburned.
Okay. Councilmember Soto Martinez.
Sorry, my apologies. Oversight earlier. I stood up earlier and forgot to mention item 2 for an amendment, and the clerk has a motion to read into the record.
Okay. Item 2 for an amendment.
That's correct.
Okay. And does the city attorney have the amendment?
I have the amendment on
I
item
have
1
the
and 2.
amendment. I have the amendment.
Items 1 and 2.
Yeah, I believe it's 1 and 2.
Okay. Go right ahead.
So
What's
let
up,
me
people?
start with item 1. Actually, let me begin with item 2. Was that Ms. Rahman who presented? Let
I'll
me start
check
with
it out,
item 2. I think
people. I
that's-
mean, I checked
that's
out
your
Rumble,
sister.
and Rumble's ridiculous. It's like it literally makes you download a video and thumbnails and all this shit every fucking time. Redo the stream key every time. I mean, man, it's stupid.
At Grocery Outlet Hollywood, located at 1240 Vine Street, will serve the public convenience or necessity and will not tend to create a law enforcement problem. 2, grant the application for determination of public convenience or necessity for the sale of alcoholic beverages for off-site consumption at Grocery Outlet Hollywood, located at 1240 Vine Street. And 3, instruct the city clerk to transmit this determination to the State Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control as required findings under the Business and Professions Code, Section 2395 8.4, presented by you, and we do need a second on that.
Venom, I'm not sure.
Thank you.
Haven't decided.
Seconded by Councilmember Yaroslavsky.
Laney, it's L.A.
Now
sports
I have-
cards.
Yes.
So I have findings for item 1
Councilmember
as
Ahmed.
well. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so this is for number 1. So the motion is that the item be amended to drop the following. 1, determine that the issuance of a liquor license at Buvette, located at 15003 West Ventura Boulevard, which is at the location 15001 through 15009 West Ventura Boulevard, will serve the public convenience or necessity and will not tend to create a law enforcement problem.
Suzanne, because he has
2,
something in his
grant
butthole.
the application for determination of public convenience or necessity for the sale of alcoholic beverages for both on-site and off-site consumption at Buvette at 1503 West Ventura Boulevard at the addresses I just stated. And 3, instruct the city clerk to transmit the determination to the State Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control as required under Business and Profession Code Section 2395 8.4, presented by you, and we do need a second on that as well.
How much is a liquor license? I don't know.
All right, and did we have a second?
Know how much it is.
Okay.
Mr.
Thank
Blumenfield.
Mr. Blumenfield, thank you.
All right, anything else? Any other amendments?
Yes,
Any other
it's-
specials, members?
Get it.
Any other
Central.
specials, members? Going once? Oh, Councilmember Yaroslavsky, special? Okay. Very good. Then seeing no, yeah, and items 40 and 41 have not yet had public comment, but we will be circulating a resolution shortly. Any other specials? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, what is available for us to vote on at this point?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 4 through 18 and 20 through 34.
Very good. Those items are now before us. Seeing no requests for comment, let's go ahead and open the roll,
Let's open the
close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
Close the roll. All yeses.
14 ayes.
Thank you. Before we move on to our closed session items,
Yes,
I do
Tim.
want to take a moment of personal privilege to recognize that we are
Personal
joined in council
privilege.
chambers today by the Honorable Karen Bass, the Mayor of the City of Los Angeles. Mayor Bass, welcome.
Oh, she finally show up and do something? You finally get to do something? Been working 3 months, girl. You ain't done a
Sit down
fucking
and be
thing.
silent. Sit down and be silent, Miss Lewis.
Yes!
Sit down and be silent immediately. She's not complying with my instructions. Please remove Ms. Lewis. Please remove Ms. Lewis from the council chambers pursuant to Council Rule 12. She's
She
warned
was
every
warned.
single meeting, and she was just instructed 3 times by me to be silent,
Shut
which
up.
she ignored. Go.
So you've been ordered to leave
You're
quietly.
ordered
not doing it,
removed.
and now you're ordered removed.
You are ordered removed. Leave the council chambers and leave silently and immediately.
So, Ms. Lewis, you were
Leave
ordered.
the meeting immediately and silently.
Tell them to fuck off,
So,
both
Ms.
of them.
Lewis, you were
And
ordered to
that
leave
bitch
quietly. You're
Bass.
continuing to disobey that order, and you're continuing to disrupt the council meeting. Leave quietly now.
I'll leave. You stay there.
Ms. Lewis,
You are going to comply with my instructions one way or the other. You are ordered to leave this meeting.
Comply to that.
so you're continuing to disrupt the meeting. You're continuing to disobey the order by shouting. Did you just threaten me, Miss Lewis?
Did
you
just
better not
threaten
have.
me? You better not have.
Leave, Miss Lewis.
Did you just threaten me?
Whoever is speaking now, you are ordered to be silent as well. This is not the time for shouting out. This is the time for the council to do its business.
Man, I gotta tell you,
You will
he's-
not disrupt this meeting. Every single person in this chamber is informed right now. You will not shout out. You will not disrupt the meeting. of the city council.
The
period.
mole is such a.
We'll wait until Miss Lewis is out of the chambers.
Ah,
All
what
right.
a pussy. Did you just
With that,
threaten me?
I again am pleased to welcome the mayor of the city of Los Angeles, the Honorable Karen Bass. Mayor Bass.
Finally showed up to work 90 fucking days
Mayor
late.
Bass, I know you
Ain't
can
done a
only be here
fucking
for a
thing in
moment.
90
Did you
days
wanna
except for
say
show up and
a
do
few
the
words?
dog and pony show.
Okay,
She's
Councilmember
definitely the
Rodriguez.
dog.
Well, first of all, well, okay, thank you, Mayor Bass.
That
And
fucking
first of all,
face.
happy 100 to you. Thank you.
Sponsor for Viagra.
I'm grateful that Mayor Bass has joined us this morning because there are two motions that are being introduced today. We recognized this trailblazer last week upon the information about former councilwoman, former LA County Supervisor, former Assemblywoman, Gloria Molina's terminal cancer diagnosis. And I wanted to first provide a brief bio to give the historical context and nature of who this woman represents to our city and to our community. As she grew up as one of 10 children in the city of Pico Rivera to a Mexican-American father and Mexican mother, attending Rio Hondo College, East Los Angeles College, more commonly known as ELAC, and Cal State University, Los Angeles. And while attending college, became a full-time legal secretary and certified as an adult education instructor and taught clerical skills at the East Los Angeles Skills Center. Gloria went on to serve in President Jimmy Carter's administration as a deputy for the presidential personnel, and after leaving the administration, served in San Francisco as a deputy director for the Department of Health and Human Services. Molina was first elected to public office in 1982 as a state assemblywoman in California's 56th
Because they're self-centered, dim tool.
In 1987, she was elected to serve
They're
on this
narcissists.
body.
All of
as
them.
the first Latina city councilwoman for the 1st Councilmanic District and the first Latina ever to be elected to serve on the Los Angeles City Council. In 1991, she again went on to break another barrier,
That's all it is,
becoming
sooner.
the first Los Angeles County Supervisor representing the 1st Supervisorial District. Gloria is the first Latina in history to be elected to the state legislature, to the city council, and the Board of Supervisors. And one of her significant achievements was advocating and bringing to fruition a space that we all know and love, Grand Park. And it's among many really wonderful open spaces, including La Plaza, that she has also helped to build a lasting and enduring legacy. But for everyone that has had the opportunity to enjoy Grand Park and all of its activations,
They do,
we
Injun,
can thank
and then
the
that's
great
what happens.
Gloria Molina for
They're
that,
threatened with
which
arrest.
stretches as a 12-acre park stretching from the Music Center to
Right,
Los
Andrew.
Angeles
Big
City
win
Hall.
against Calgary
And
last
so
night.
today, colleagues, we are introducing, Ms. Hernandez and I are introducing a resolution in support of the declaration that the Board of Supervisors is off doing just a few blocks away from us to dedicate and rename Grand Park in her name. I'm also introducing a motion today that will also create we're going to declare the walkways, the crosswalks, and the pathways in Gloria Molina's legacy and honor that connects from the County Board of Supervisors through Grand Park and all the way back here to City Hall in her legacy. And so I want to thank Mayor Bass for joining us this morning to celebrate this wonderful woman and all of her remarkable and trailblazing efforts. Because as I said last week, without a Gloria Molina, there wouldn't be a Monica Rodriguez around this horseshoe. I have shared with many friends over the course of the weekend and in conversation with so many of us that have been impassioned and engrossed in political activism for the course of
Not
our
really, Daryl.
adult life. One story that I was exchanging with Commissioner Calanche, who grew up in Ramona Gardens, was about how her mom, when she worked at Murchison Elementary School in Ramona Gardens, would talk about how Gloria Molina went to teach the young kids how to read and how she would go read to them every week, religiously, every week. No cameras, no newspapers. She just showed up every week to go be with the families and to be with the young kids, to give them the tools and the support that they needed to be successful. That is her enduring legacy, and it's one that we should all derive lessons from. I'm really grateful for her example of leadership. One, as
we get to the
Sharon
people.
So mentioned last week, she could make anyone quiver in their boots. And it was because she was unapologetically Latina, unapologetically honest and direct, and didn't have a problem telling you the truth. And it's something that everyone should be more frankly embracing of, because we are all better policymakers when we were able to speak an unapologetic truth. And so with that, colleagues, again, I want to thank you, Gloria, for all of your leadership and example. It is an enduring legacy, one that we will often embrace and celebrate here in this council chamber. And with that, colleagues, I'd like to invite our mayor, Karen
Tribe,
Betts,
it
for
can
remarks.
never just be a wise lady or a wise human being. It always has to be
Thank
the
you so
wise
much,
race.
and thank you,
Because
Monica,
they're,
for
you know, the
introducing
race
us.
baiters.
And,
You can tell the
you know,
race
it's always
baiters.
an honor when I have an opportunity to come and speak before you. And this though, is a bittersweet moment. As I stand here as the first woman mayor of Los Angeles, it should be very clear that I stand on the shoulders of Gloria Molina. To earn her seat in elected office, she took on an entrenched political machine. Monica and I were talking about that earlier. The women that came before us, although the women on the council and other women in leadership roles might have to struggle today, our struggle is nothing compared to the struggle that those that came before us had to wage.
Would they be proud of you
And
doing nothing
for
in
the men
90
on the
days?
council,
In your
Gloria
first
Molina
90?
impacted all of our lives, considering her role pioneering environmental justice, her role as a fiscal watchdog, and her advocacy for public health. She helped shape Southern California in many indelible ways. I didn't know Gloria Molina personally. I mean, I'd met her a couple of times, but she's not someone that I had a deep relationship with. But I did have an opportunity to speak with her last week. And I think it's always important to tell people who have impacted your life exactly how they impacted your life. So I had an opportunity to share with her that although we didn't know each other, I was watching her. I was an activist that never envisioned myself being in elected office, but I watched her in these chambers. I watched her as she took on the battle relentlessly and very powerfully. And I remember when
That's what I'm
it
saying,
came
Oscar.
time for her, well, actually when they were creating the supervisorial district that she was going to run for, there had been discrimination against Latinos from being able to be elected to the Board of
They were threatening to throw that girl out, Sarah, because she's opposition. She doesn't lick the assholes of these dickheads. And remember, again, all of them are all on one side and not the other. Okay, so they all lick each other's assholes to get whatever they want done. And if you walk in there and you oppose anything that they do, that's it.
Resolution, my determination, and my leadership. And so I stand in support in favor of your motion, Councilwoman. Thank you for taking the lead to do that. This is another example of the unity between the city and the county, though. I definitely want to point that out, that the county, as we are sitting here, the county is doing the same thing. And Grand Park is managed both by the city, and the county. And so the county Board of Supervisors, the all-female Board of Supervisors, and Gloria was the only woman there for off and on for quite some time. Yvonne, she served with Yvonne Burke too, but she was by herself for a number of years. That at the same time as the county is passing
I know,
this
Orwell.
resolution,
They're about done
the
patting
city
themselves
is
on the back.
standing in support. It's another
The back
example
patting will be done
of what
any
I hope
moment.
will be our ongoing unity.
That's how they
so thank
do
you
it.
very much for
They
the
started always by
opportunity to
patting
be
their
here
own
and
backs.
to support your resolution, and I think there might be another resolution coming forward as well. Thank you very much.
Good. Get out of here now. Get to work.
Thank you very much, Mayor, for being with us and for that recognition of Supervisor Molina.
She ain't
Thank
my
you,
mayor.
Councilmember Rodriguez, for the resolution. And I think there will be other appropriate measures that we'll be taking to mark an extraordinary legacy of service. In addition, this week, the Metro Board, I had the privilege of serving with Supervisor Molina as a Metro Board member, and the Metro Board will be voting on a motion by Directors Solis, Mitchell, Barger, Hahn, Horvath, and Mayor Bass to dedicate the Gold Line East LA Civic Center station in honor of Gloria Molina as well. So, and I'm sure there will be additional tributes still to come for an extraordinary woman.
What is that going to cost us just in signage to put her name everywhere?
But one who also delivered
What's
so
that gonna
much
cost?
for so many. So, Supervisor Molina,
At
if
least,
you're
what,
watching,
$100
it's
an hour
honor
to
be able
get the
recognize
guys
you
over
this
there
way.
with a crane to put the sign
all
up?
right. Next, we're going to move on to our closed session items. So I'd like to turn to the
Fucking
Chair of the Budget,
ridiculous. Finance,
and Innovation Committee, Mr. Blumenfield, for your recommendations, please.
Thank you. Recommend that these can all be considered in open session as we discuss them in closed session, and none of them need to be discussed again unless council members want to bring them up. So, and we recommended voting for the recommendations of the on each and of the claims board. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you. If we could
I
go
have a
ahead and read in the
536
City Attorney's
can.
recommendations then, please.
I have the base
Okay,
model.
I'll actually start with the first one, Mr. President. Item 23, which is City of Los Angeles versus Purdue Pharma LP et al. So the
And
motion
two
is to
and two
approve the
SDS
settlements and
200s.
authorize the city attorney to effectuate the city's participation in the national settlement. The amount the city will receive in the settlements depends on the number of states and municipalities that subscribe to the settlements, so we can't state the dollar amount at this point.
And for the record, that was item 42.
Excuse me, 42.
Doesn't even know. What a fucking dunce. Just to tell you guys, there was a chase the other day. Dude stole the truck, got out of the truck, jumped on a skateboard, ran about a block on the skateboard, and then got tackled by the LAPD. Dude's now suing the LAPD for a leg injury because he got tackled off his skateboard.
Thank you, Mr. President. For item 43, in the case entitled Catherine Becker versus City of Los Angeles Fire Department, there is a recommendation to expend up to $998,500 in settlement. For item 44, in the case entitled Diego Andres Avalos versus Los Angeles Department of Transportation et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $750,000 in settlement.
Bounty hunter.
For item 45, in the case entitled Karen Koppel et al. Versus City of Los
His
Angeles
attorney's
et al.,
already suing.
there is a recommendation to expend up to $1,750,000 in settlement. For item 46, in the case entitled
he will, Christina.
Jenry Yabani Zagak Davila versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $125,000 in settlement. For item 47, in the case entitled April Lang versus City of Los Angeles et al.,
Bro, why doesn't he just cover his whole face?
to $190,000 in settlement. For item 48, in the case
Straight
entitled
from eyes
Sandy
to the
Hutchinson
chin, homie.
versus City of Los Angeles et al., there is a recommendation to expend up to $200,000 in settlement.
All right. Those matters are now before us.
Like he took his grandmother's
I see no
underwear and
members
sewed
wishing
it
to
to
be
his face.
heard. Mr. Blumenfield's recommendation, we can take those up at this point. So on those
things
matters,
is huge.
please open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
14 ayes.
Very good. Thank you, members.
So I'm saying, Scan, I ain't never seen one that big. That one's pretty large. Thing's like a tarp on his face. Fucking Scoob was laughing at him.
All right. So before we begin the public comment portion of our meeting,
Let's go.
I'm looking to Councilmember Yaroslavsky. I
Let's go.
understand that
Oh,
there
of
is a
course she
special
has to say
presentation that you'd like to make.
Oh, fucking
So
course
you have
she
the floor,
does.
Councilmember.
If her dad wasn't a big enough fucking pain, now we're stuck with her. Fuck. She's busy banning fucking Sour Patch Kids and Skittles. We gotta hear this idiot talk.
Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call up the Shalhevet girls basketball team to join me up here. So if you guys,
There we go.
ladies, want to...
See, they wanted to get them out of here before the fireworks had started, but Miss Lewis didn't let that happen. They already had to endure Miss Lewis. Oh, shit, yeah. Shit, yeah.
I'm incredibly excited to be able to do this today. I'm really honored to have with me this morning the history-making Shalhevet Firehawks girls basketball team.
Straight pushed her.
These ladies are here today. They're the first Jewish school in California history to win a CIF championship in any sport, boys or girls. Quite an accomplishment.
That is nice. Shout out to the ladies.
They defeated
I like how
San
her friend
Domenico of
pushed
San
herself.
Anselmo 50-46 in Sacramento earlier this month.
Close game.
This is the second year in a row that this team has made it to the championship game.
Thank you,
which
Esther.
is like
Thank you, Sparks.
unheard of. And they've also played against the same team that they played against last year. And last year they lost, but they clawed their way back. They fought hard, worked hard all year long, came back, faced the same team, and beat them, which is, I think, incredible. As the great John Wooden once said, winning takes talent, to repeat takes character. And I want to congratulate you on repeating your run to the championship and then bringing home the title. That's quite a feat. I'm impressed that you managed this while also excelling in the classroom. I know we've got the school valedictorian is on this team.
Come on, be
all
nice,
around
guys.
mentions, which is obviously the most important thing. Being a student athlete at any level takes poise, dedication, and work ethic. You've all shown you have these qualities tenfold, and we expect to see great things from you in the years to come. It's an honor to have you here today. I have proclamations for all of you and a basketball that's signed by all of us plus the mayor.
Oh,
You got the mayor who's
Jesus
here today,
Christ.
so-
Why would you want a basketball signed by a bunch of sacks of shit?
So I want to just read everyone's
kidding me?
names.
Gotta
So
be
we have
kidding me.
Davina Ben-Eliyahu, Olivia Orbach,
Useless.
Kiana Serpin, Talia Tibi, Yali Schwartz, Ariel
See, that's how they think of themselves, guys. They think of themselves as stars. Here's a basketball signed by all of us. Hate to break it to you, lady, but basketballs are usually signed by stars. Maybe superstars, sometimes legends. You are none of the above, nor will you ever fucking be. Got it? Hope you got it.
Byron Deegan. Congratulations. Incredible
It's
accomplishment.
how they think of themselves. I keep telling you, narcissistic, self-centered, egotistical. That's what all of these people are. To get them into the positions they are in, they have to be that way, and they are. Every last one of them. Don't think any are different. You won't find one. And if you did, they'd all get stomped out so hard by the freight train of ass lickers. Okay? Oh, we don't get a harumph out of that guy. Take him out back. And that's exactly what would happen. Okay? And that's what you have right here. Her dad's one of the most disgusting council members to ever live. Zev Yaroslavsky. Go find out the list of shit that he has banned. In fact, they were all just giggling and joking about it while they were wasting our money, hundreds of thousands of dollars to change a street to his name.
Of our meeting. So, Mr. Clerk, if you could please read in the call-in instructions.
Here we
Thank you,
go.
Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment should call 669
You can call in.
5252 and use meeting ID number
669.
160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute. Let me repeat. Call 669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466, and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for participant ID. Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
To members of the public calling in, when it's your turn to speak, please state which of the agenda items you'd like to speak on.
Please
you have
go,
1
boy.
minute per item to speak, up to 3 minutes total. And if you wish 1 minute for general public comment, please speak to the items before beginning general public comment. We'll tell you when your time's up.
And I want the
when
guy that
speaking on the agenda items, you
goes
need to be
crazy on him
topic.
every time.
Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you're not speaking on topic, or if we can't tell whether you're on topic, you'll get one brief warning from me or the president. At that point, you really need to get clearly, immediately on topic.
Immediately.
If you don't, or you again stray off topic, unfortunately, you forfeit your speaking time and
Fucking
we'll move on to
immediately.
the next speaker. The items that are open for public comment are items 1 through 2, 19, and 35 through 41. That's 1 to 2, 19, and 35 to 41. There may also be a special motion. I'll
lot on the
announce that
agenda.
in a bit if there is. If there is one, you can also speak on that. Of course, in general public comment, you can speak on the items that are not open for public comment or anything else within the subject matter jurisdiction.
basically tell him to fuck off if
For
you
members of the public calling in, as you were told, when it's your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will prompt you to press star 6 to unmute yourself. If you don't do so, council staff will prompt you once more, usually by reading off the last 4 digits of your phone number. At that point, you really need to press star 6 right away, or unfortunately, we'll move on to the next speaker. There is a brief time delay between the live meeting and the broadcast, so 2 things are important. First, if you're listening on multiple devices like Channel 35 and YouTube, as soon as it's your turn to speak, turn down those devices right away and just listen on the phone. If you're listening on the other devices, between the time delay and feedback, it causes a great deal of confusion. Second, we want you to hear in real time. When it's your turn, press star 6. So while you're waiting for your turn to speak, please keep one ear to the phone. If you're only listening on YouTube, because of the time delay, you may not press star 6 right away, and unfortunately, we might pass over you.
Enough guff from you for one day. Raving psycho, butchered 400 chickens and screwed a beagle. Taking him back to Nevada where he's wanted for banging horses.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to go ahead and call out several names, and as I call your name, if you could please come over to the left-hand side of the council, your left-hand side of the council chamber, so that you'll be directed to the podium from there. Corey Schmidt, Bex, Dr. D, and Dory Frank, please.
Dr. D always tears him a new asshole. I like Dr. D. She ain't gonna take no shit. And is De Leon in here? I don't see him. I don't think that's him. He usually sits right there. But that doesn't look like him. Doesn't look like his hair. But I could be wrong. That might be him. Because that usually is his seat right there. So I'm going to guess that that's him.
Which items had you voted on? Or had you signed up for? I'm sorry.
I signed up on all items, but let's just stick to general comment.
Okay.
That
sure,
might be
please go
Goat
ahead.
Boy, guys. That's Goat Boy.
Well. I'm back. I see there's some new faces here. You know, Weezar, Bonin, Koretz. Let's see. Nuri's gone. I don't think that should have happened. You know, there's way worse things that have been said in these council chambers. You know, so a little disappointed to see that. Replaced her with Krikorian, the purveyor of 5G. But let's get to what's really important. I want to say that R set me up. He left me out to dry. He tried to kill me, stupid motherfucker. Now he's in Department 32. And the kicker, he teamed up with Jay. Jay pulled the trigger. The same Jay that pulled the trigger on the fire in Malibu and in Thousand Oaks. The same Jay that kicked me out of my house. Thank you.
Thank you. And so we can make sure we call everybody. Could you give us the name you signed up under again?
Name is Corey Schmidt.
Thank you very much. Oh,
Thank you.
Mr. Schmidt.
All right. Bex, Dr. D, Dory Frank, and Stacy Cigar Bollinger, please.
Cigar
if you
Bollinger, she's the
tell us
singer.
the name you signed up under and which items you signed up for, please.
Bex, item 35, 38, and general comment.
Oh, girl, don't eat the
So you have
mic.
2 minutes for the 2 items. followed by a minute for general. So please begin.
So for item 35, I recognize that this is a call for a removal of a particular location from 4118. I encourage the rest of the city council to do the same with all locations under 4118 and make it unenforceable under the law. You are committing violence against communities by continuing to put places under 4118. These are violent sweeps, they are traumatic sweeps, and they should not be occurring. Item 38. Item 38, you're approving $400 and a light up of City Hall for trans rights. Trans rights are under attack across the country, and especially in places like Tennessee, Arkansas, and Florida in particular. It is weak sauce to only designate $400 as a recognition. I call for more money specifically to the LGBTQ Center and other places that support trans rights.
Weak
I'm
sauce.
moving on to general comment now. Okay. Firstly, I'd like to call out the hypocrisy in this council for recognizing and considering it cute that the school children last week were protesting for climate change and yet continues to not recognize the validity of the protesters who are acting here in this council and acting against the racist comments of Kevin De Leon. I hope that the school children Google Kevin De Leon's name, and by the way, Purell and rubbing alcohol will erase Sharpie, so if you want to erase his name, you're welcome to do so. The second part of my general comment, I'd like to raise up the demands given by the Aetna community in Van Nuys. They are questioning what's going on with the Inside Safe program. Their questions include what will happen to those who do not accept Inside Safe. We would like to hear from Karen Bass herself on this, as there have been confusion and uncertainty. We need to know this for our own safety. They are also raising up food insecurity issues, as many of them have dietary restrictions. Please look into the Inside Safe requirements and how this program is actually being facilitated in these communities. Thank you.
You can
Thank you very
breathe
much.
too. The mayor's
Dr.
gone.
D, Dory Frank, Stacy Segarra Bollinger, and Mr. G, please.
The mayor doesn't care about you. That's why the mayor left, and that's why she's busy doing nothing that she's done in the first 90 fucking
My
days.
city councilwoman is not here, but I will address the city council this
This is
way.
a dog and pony show. They brought
As
her
you know,
over.
in the
She's the
People
dog.
Robertson area, we had 2 shootings. To 2 black council members, Dawson and Price, aren't here. And it seems to me, I'm asking that this council censor both black councilmen for failing to come to the town hall meeting at EULA, nor our community. You cannot just pass a resolution and not come to the community. Mr. President, I appreciate the fact you came down to tell me, but how many of the council members came to this meeting? Because we're still facing anti-Semitism, and I do represent the Orthodox community, and because our city councilwoman is not here, I can't address her. So I'm asking that this council censor the 2 black councilmen for failing to come to our community and seeing what's going on. Oh, our city councilwoman's here. Katie, I would like to say that our community is very disappointed you've not reached out to us. Forget about the Passover thing coming up. And I sent you an email offering my services to be your liaison. Be well.
Thank you. Could you give us your name again so we make sure we call everyone? The name you signed up under. Sir? What's the name you signed up under?
Shmuley?
Dory Frank.
Thank you. We just want to make sure.
Thank you very much.
And Mr. President, I have resolutions that relate to items 40 and 41, if I can read them in.
Yes, please go right ahead.
Okay. So item 40 relates to the mayor's declaration of emergency regarding rainstorms. I won't read all the recitals, which to some degree mirror the mayor's declaration. I'll read the moving clauses. So for item 40, the resolution provides, now therefore the Council of the City of Los Angeles resolves that 1, the council recognizes and ratifies the existence of a local emergency regarding impacts from a series of atmospheric river storm systems in the city of Los Angeles within the meaning of Los Angeles Administrative Code Section 8.21 in sequence, and
Declaration of emergency because it rained.
2023
Emergency because it rained
and
a lot.
because the local emergency continues to exist. there's a need
Ridiculous.
to continue the declared state of local emergency, whose continuance the city council hereby ratifies. 3, in accordance with Los Angeles Administrative Code Section 8.21 in sequence, all appropriate city departments, agencies, and personnel instructed and requested to continue to perform all duties and responsibilities to represent the city in this matter, to prevent and abate the emergency and receive, process, and coordinate all inquiries and requirements necessary to obtain whatever state and federal assistance may become available to the city and/or to the citizens of the city who may be affected by the emergency. And the general manager of the Emergency Management Department is hereby instructed to advise the City Council and Mayor on the need to extend the state of emergency. And the City Clerk is hereby instructed to forward copies of this resolution to the Governor of the State of California, the Director of the Office of Emergency Services of the State of California, and the Los Angeles County Office of Emergency Management and the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, presented by, I believe it's you, Mr. President, and Mr. Price, but I'll confirm that in a bit. And then this is the resolution regarding item number 41, which I'll say loosely involves the Los Angeles Aqueduct. Again, I won't read the moving clauses, which mirror many of the statements in the mayor's declaration of emergency.
Goes from a drought emergency to a rain emergency.
Now, therefore, the Council of the City of Los Angeles resolves that. One,
as soon as you see emergency like declaration for anything, that's just a way to grift. Emergency grift. Come on.
In sequence, at the time of the mayor's March 14, 2023 declaration of local emergency, throughout the city-owned lands adjacent to the city's Los Angeles Aqueduct, its water gathering facilities, and its air quality control facilities located in Mono,
they don't see it that way.
Inyo, Kern, and Los Angeles counties, and in the city
Try
of
it
Los
sooner.
Angeles related to the city's Los Angeles Aqueduct. And two, because the local emergency continues.
They did a state of emergency for monkeypox. Again, how many in the chat room have ever seen anybody not on a TikTok video or whatever in real life with monkeypox? I'm guessing none of you. Not one.
To continue to perform all
Not
duties
fucking
and
one.
responsibilities to represent the city in this matter and to prevent and abate the
Not one.
emergency and receive,
Not
process,
one of you, I
and
bet.
coordinate all
Not one.
inquiries and requirements necessary to obtain whatever state and federal assistance may become available to the city.
State of
and/or to the
emergency.
citizens of the city who may be affected by the emergency. And the general manager of the Emergency Management Department is advised to instruct.
There you go. You see it
is
in the chat
hereby
room
instructed
yourself.
to advise the mayor and the city council on the need to extend the state of emergency, and insofar as the public interest
Some
and
of which are
necessity
fucking
demand
nurses.
the immediate expenditure
One's
of
an
public
R-
funds
one's
to
an RN
safeguard
right there.
life, health, or property in response to the local
Don't
emergency.
you think she'd see
and
one?
mitigation efforts
you
related
think?
to the local emergency.
Just
The city
one.
hereby, city council hereby ratifies and approves and resolves the competitive bidding restrictions enumerated in Charter Section 371E6 and 372 and Los Angeles Administrative Code Sections 10.15 and 10.17
That's
be
right,
suspended
Kilroy.
until April 21,
That's right.
2023, of the termination of the state of emergency, whichever comes first, for the Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, the
Tom?
LADWP, to authorize and order any action relative to the procurement of construction contracts, supplies, and equipment, but only if monies for related payments be drawn from the LADWP's proprietary funds. And 6, LADWP shall report every 2 weeks to the City Council on the reasons justifying why such a aforesaid action was necessary to respond to the emergency, including why the emergency did not permit a delay resulting from a competitive solicitation for bids or proposals, and why competitive proposals for bidding was not reasonably practical or compatible
Which
with
would
the
allow
city's
them to
interests.
grift,
And
right, the
finally,
dude?
the city clerk is hereby instructed to forward copies of this resolution to the governor in the state of California, the director of the Office of Emergency Services of the state of California, the Los Angeles County Office of Emergency Management, and the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors, presented by you, Mr. Krikorian, and seconded by Mr. Price.
That's right, so they get
Again,
money
these
from
will
the
be
feds.
distributed and online
right.
as well.
Beg
Sorry,
for
Mr.
money.
Lund,
The governor
to
can
make
beg
you
for
stand there
money
a
for the
while.
state.
You don't
Which,
get to call me that.
Thank you very much.
which items did you sign up for?
35 in public comment.
So you have a minute for 35 and a minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Okay, on 35. Yeah, it's a good idea that you're limiting or reducing the number of people who are going to be swept off the streets and put into flea bag hotels. But I'm worried about all the other people in your district. Knowing the two of you who put this forward, I'm sure that you're pandering to developers. And that this is because it doesn't explain why or give any statement from the community. So removing 2 streets is not a solution. I'm glad to hear, with respect to Karen Bass's houseless outreach is that you're going to be approving some people on her committee. So that's good, because when they removed people from my neighborhood, they were not prepared. They were not one bit prepared to remove those people to housing that was safe and then provide housing for them. I still have public comment,
Yes,
right?
please go ahead.
Okay, and Kevin De Leon, unfortunately, he's not here. How dare you let him speak last week on Gloria Molina? How dare you let that man speak in this chamber? This is disgusting. You know, Karen Bass stood there and called herself a former activist. Yeah, a bunch of you in this room are former activists too. Does it mean when you get elected to office, you stop representing your own values and holding on to the principles that you were activists about in the past, and then you allow activists here to get arrested? You know, let's get straight. There are bad things that are happening here, including Kevin De Leon still being on this council. And you are not doing one thing about it. None of you. And you're not doing anything about the houseless situation in this city and the unpreparedness of the people who are being gone after and having their things stolen from them and not having adequate housing.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Dr.
Stacy
D.
Cigar Bollinger.
Like her or
Mr.
not,
G, and
she dropped
Camille
a whole
A.
sackload of facts on these fools. Undeniable
Which items have
motherfucking
you signed up for
hypocritical
today?
fucking facts on all of them. They're all
All
hypocrites.
items, but could you please remind me which ones are still available for public comment?
The singer's
So the ones that are
here.
available are 1 to 2, 19, and 35 through 41.
Great, all items, please.
Okay, and then do you want your
And general public comment,
Yes.
please.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
Please go ahead.
items.
Great. So items 1 and 2, alcoholic beverage sales, grocery outlet, and Ventura Boulevard. I live like near Ventura Boulevard. There's plenty of places to buy booze. As much as I love beer, you know, we don't need more liquor permits while we have an emergency. Yeah, this is about how serious I'm taking you guys right now. Why? They eat at their desks.
Eating a
They eat
banana?
at their desks. Will you hold my banana?
Please continue.
Please don't take a bite though, because that's my breakfast. I'm really poor. I can't afford much else. It's kind of like unfair that y'all get to eat at your desks and I can't eat up here. But continuing on with the items. I've mentioned this before when we've had similar motions to approve liquor permits. We're in multiple state of emergencies, apparently. We have some crazy weather that our city is not built to handle. And we have unhoused residents sleeping on the streets and dying in this crazy weather. I've mentioned this at this podium, but the only way to get anything done, it seems like, in any level of government in the United States is to either pay the right people and make sure the right people are making money, or to interrupt the flow of capital to incentivize people doing the right thing. So it would be cool if we would have a moratorium on selling something that has a demonstrably negative effect on health and safety. I don't really buy the determination that it has no effect on public safety, because we can look at the data about places with high concentration of places to buy liquor and cigarettes and how safe those neighborhoods are versus high concentration of things like libraries and schools and place to buy healthy groceries like fresh fruit and vegetables and how safe those places are. So we should maybe consider, while we're in the state of emergency, not thinking about beer and liquor. You know, when you can't even pay money for a roof over your head, you shouldn't be stocking the fridge with beer. So item 35, we should just be doing an all-out no more 4118. It's bad for the budget. It's bad for the people it affects. We're criminalizing poverty. We're criminalizing homelessness. We know what this is about. The city wants to make it seem like homelessness does not exist in Los Angeles before people start showing up for the Olympics. That's why we gave away public land to build a Marriott when we're always being told there's a housing shortage. We need to build more, but here you go, Marriott, build another luxury hotel. So I'll move on to general public comment. You are getting a song, Kevin. It's just going to be a short one today. I'm so fucking mad, you guys. I'm so mad. We can't even get here on time. Y'all make $200,000 a year, and you have a minimum wage in this city that is putting people in poverty. People working can't afford a home, and y'all are showing up late to work. You're not paying attention. You're snacking at your desk, but I can't snack up here. Like, seriously, get it together. Who's going to introduce a motion to lower your guys' salary? Because as a minimum wage worker, I don't get to eat behind the cash register I'm working. I don't get to roll in late and just have no consequences and still participate in my job. I don't get to chit chat while I'm supposed to be paying attention to something. You all should be held to a standard that's at least a minimum wage worker standard. Okay, now for my music. This is a Fuck You Kevin song, and it isn't very long. Hey! You're all complicit in his racism, every last one of you.
Mr. G, Camille A, Dr. Jill Humphreys, and Jerry Clark.
Oh, shit.
Hi.
She is
which
pretty
items have you
annoying.
signed up for?
He's awesome.
Right, I think it was 35 in general.
So you have a minute for each. Please begin.
All right, so I think 35 was the right one, but that was the one that was where it's actually a good surprisingly good thing from Staffer B over there. Yeah, you looked over, see you, no, it's you. Yeah, so you're actually removing 4118 zones. That's actually a good thing. You all should do that, and you should all abolish 4118 completely. I feel like there's probably got to be some kind of catch because it's John Lee and Tim McCosker, but you know, but removing 4118 zones is good, and let's remove all of them and abolish 4118 completely. Let's actually get on people housing and services. All right, general comment.
Okay.
All right, so none of you are doing anything to try to get KDL out of office. I know he's hiding in the back. He's trying to make it look like he's not here, but we know he's here. He's hiding in that little back party room that you got back there, taking advantage of the free water bottles and, you know, whatever else goes on back there. Yeah, so you know, you say that you're doing everything, but you can't. Your hands are tied. You can't do anything. But you certainly could do more than what you are doing. I mean, yeah, you can't, you know, vote to remove him from office, but you can vote no on any motions he introduces. You can not second them in the first place.
I don't know, BJ.
You can, you know, if he shows up, you could possibly even break quorum. You said you were going to do that at one point, and then that fell through, I guess. So you could certainly do more. So let's do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Camille A, Dr. Jill Humphreys.
Basic American dude, he's definitely not hitting on that chick.
The only pussy he's ever touched was his mum's when he fell out of it.
Jill Humphreys, just general comment.
Okay, please go ahead.
The banality of evil. My name is Dr. Jill Humphreys. I'm a native Black Angelino and the architect of the inaugural African Diplomatic Corps City of Los Angeles recognition ceremony. Can one do evil without being evil? This is the quintessential question philosopher Hannah Arendt grappled with in covering the war crimes trial of Adolf Eichmann, the Nazi bureaucrat responsible for organizing and transporting millions of Jews and others to concentration camps. City council members and Mayor Bass' participation in the African Diplomatic Corps recognition ceremony legitimized Councilman Price and Dr. Thaddeus Belay stealing my original work and cheating Black LA of this historic moment. Can one do evil without being evil? I filed an ethics complaint against Councilman Kernedy Price for the misuse of public authority as a council member to create a private advantage for himself and disadvantage me by claiming authorship of my intellectual property and excluding me from participating in the ceremony and positioning himself as the business negotiator between the mayor's office and the African Diplomatic Corps. Councilman Price and his operatives attempt to co-opt and use Black American Pan-African rhetorical tropes such as Black History Month and Africa Day, making emotional appeals to the deep trauma of our African humanity's evolution of Ubuntu. You failed. We see you, Councilman Price, and other Black American and African political elites position yourselves to be the primary beneficiaries of this arrangement while excluding community did not go unnoticed. Can one do evil without being evil? Namaste.
That's what I'm saying, Remington, man.
Thank you very much. Jerry Clark and
Holy
last
shit,
call for
breathe.
Camille A.
Mr. Park, which items had you signed
Reminds
up
me of
for?
the Micro Machines
Clark,
commercial guy. Yeah,
Please begin.
that's what I'm saying, Loam. That's what remind me of.
My wife and I own a home in Echo Park. Councilman Soto Martinez is about to engage me and my neighbors in a reckless gamble by taking down the fence at Echo Park Lake. At a town hall this weekend, he assured us that after carting away the fence, his team will swoop in and dissuade folks from setting up their homes in the park like they did a couple of years ago. And yet, he's unable for the last month or so to dislodge one encampment on Lemoyne Street mere feet from his local office.
Thanks,
we are
Barb.
not reassured. The councilman campaigned by calling the fence a failure. That fence has kept the park safe, clean, and green for 2 years. According to the LAPD, removal of the encampments has resulted in a 38% reduction in crime in the area. The councilman also ran on defunding the police. So, if he'd like to see less police presence in the area, keep the fence up. It's working. Thank you very much.
Thanks to the transients.
I love you, filthy hobo.
Thank you so much, Barb. I
Abron,
love you. 29 months.
ABRON.
The basketball girl's still there? Oh, shit. They're like, oh, no, I need to hear the madness. Or is that a whole new set of girls? Am I tripping? I think that's the same girls, isn't it? Or is that a whole new set of them?
Mr. LeBron, which items had you signed up for?
I was general public.
Please
speaker.
go ahead.
No, I ain't signed for nothing, but general public.
Please
comment.
begin.
Oh, I'm here to ask the district about Lamert Park. It was, my group's called Africa Town. We are want to rename the park over that way in that area Africa Town, because everybody has to have other towns, Chinatown or Thailand or different towns, different parts of the city and different parts of the world, of the states. I also address the homelessness problem. You know, we have people who have no shelters. I don't know, is that just over there, or is it the 8th district who will handle the homelessness? People need places. They don't want to go to shelters. They want to go to places of vouchers and stuff like that. And then they need toilets and showers around that area. I would like the people who address that in that district right there. Thank you.
You finally found, when he said thank you,
Thank
you finally
very
found
much.
the mic. I love it.
That concludes the speakers that I have signed up here.
There
in
is
the
little
council
Ethiopia
chambers. Before
already.
we go to public speakers that we have on the phone, I do
Where
want
is
to take
that?
just a moment to
Off of
recognize that we
Fairfax.
have with us here in council chambers
In, like, San
students and
Vicente.
faculty from the Oakwood School in Council District 2 in
Oh,
North
there's a new
Hollywood who are
kids.
here
See, that's
as
what it
part
is.
of an immersion
That's what I
program
thought.
on
All right.
race, power, and justice. So I'd like to welcome them all to our council chambers. Stand up and wave so we can see you on TV. Welcome to your city hall. All right, let's go ahead and begin public
He's
comment
rad.
with our first speaker
He's
on the
rad
phone,
right
please.
First caller, which items would you like to speak
Oh,
on?
they're going to like the callers. Let's go. Hello.
Good morning. I'll speak directly to the public since the unprofessional city council can't pay attention like children on items 140, 41 in general comments. One is for a liquor license on Ventura Boulevard. If we can determine that there is a necessity for public convenience for liquor licenses, then there should also be stated in this motion that there is a necessity for public convenience to stop City Hall corruption. Additionally, along with the coming increase in the number of corrupt council members, should be a proportionate decrease in their massive salaries. 40 is concerning the local state of emergency declaration. Public, this emergency declaration does not address the emergency of corruption at City Hall. What we need is a city council government that is not corrupt. We need this emergency declaration to include the corruption at City Hall and petty pink-faced dictator Armenian Paul Krikorian throwing the public out into the streets and having black women arrested. We, the people, do not have an LA City Council government that is not corrupt. This and every motion should address our corrupt government with more city employees standing there than there are members of the public. This emergency motion should state that even though Nori Martinez, Gilbert Cedillo, Black Temp Mark Liberty Thomas, Jose Cesar are gone, the same corrupt structure that produced this corrupt government is alive and well in petty pink-faced dictator Paul Krikorian, and these other incompetent talking head buffoons are just pretending that they know how to do anything besides rip off the people of the city of LA. This emergency motion should include banning their going back to spending hours and hours smiling and making ridiculous and worthless feel-good presentations at City Hall meetings. This item, state of emergency declaration, should include the fact that the state of emergency is actually the daily corruption, waste, and incompetence at City Hall. I am demanding that this motion state that fact or be voted no on. The state of emergency declaration should also address the corruption, waste, and incompetence of this city.
She's calling on her jitterbug.
By the 20 to 30 people standing there and doing nothing 4 hours per day.
What are those jitterbug phones?
I am demanding that this motion state that fact or be voted no. This item does not mention anything about the fact that the total and complete lack of representation of the black community by these sellout, house Negro, do-nothing, self-serving, incompetent black coons on this corrupt city council is one of the root causes of the homelessness emergency, an ongoing state of emergency throughout the black community and the city in general. This motion does not mention these facts, and I demand a no vote on this motion until it does. The two cannot be separated. I am demanding that this motion include funding for an investigation of petty two-faced Armenian dictator Paul Krikorian's arrest of a black woman peaceably protesting last week. I'm demanding that this motion include the following language. The health of the city at large is now linked to the health of the black community. I'm also demanding that this motion include the following language or be voted no. The total and complete lack of representation by the black Sambo Coons of this racist city council be addressed in
You
the
can go
body
into
of the
general.
motion.
Call them
And that-
black
And that this
Sambos.
black segmentation. Okay. General comment. A few years ago, I witnessed corrupt little man Marquise Dawson and Paul Krikorian bending over to the Korean community by supporting and giving them a historic site designation for their culture center. The witnessing by corrupt little man, corrupt Marquise Dawson made me want to vomit. The black community's Afiba Center was initiated with Brother Jabari by then Councilwoman Ruth Galanter, a white woman. I repeat, a white woman. Neither a black Mark Ridley Thomas, black Bernard Parks, or black corrupt little man Marquise Dawson has ever given 1 penny or 1 ounce of support to the Afiba Center, and Dawson evicted them from city-owned property last year after 20 years of service to the black community and turned it into a COVID-19 testing site. This is the level of racism and lack of representation to the black community by corrupt Marquise Dawson and racist city council.
Thank you.
Thanks very
And
much.
I
Thank you. Next caller, please.
They hung up right on her. Thanks, bye.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Dude, she was getting her little racial.
Hello, I'd like to speak on all available items and general public comment after, please.
See the
My name
difference
is
in
Stella
phone?
Suarez Hamilton.
Sure. So the available items are 1, 2, 19, and 35.
No
for
pillow
41.
phone or
So you get 3
jitterbug.
minutes for those, and after that, a minute for general. Please begin.
Thank you very much. Regarding item 35, 4118 is unconstitutional. It violates due process, which is in our Bill of Rights, Fifth Amendment, and violates the 14th Amendment, equal protection of the law. So there should be a repeal of 4118. There should not be this cherry picking little locations. And I looked at this location on Google Maps. Very ironic. There's a beautiful mural under the highway that has people living off the land and like little animals. There is an irony and like a cruel irony there. So what was the reason why you chose this location, and how can we get that to apply to all the other locations that are under this unconstitutional 4118? This is a ridiculous process that could only have happened during COVID, because the dedicated souls that are in the council chamber that Krikorian takes pleasure in kicking out, those dedicated souls,
So can we
that's
stick with
you, that they represent,
Can we stick with the item,
represent
Speaker?
a massive amount of people in LA who are just too busy to participate. What is your problem? I'm talking about item 35. So I don't understand what your problem is there.
So you were off topic, but
item
also
36
we've exhausted a minute on that. So
no,
if you move
I'm
on,
talking
thanks.
about 4118. I'm talking about 4118, which is in
I understand,
code section.
Speaker. You've had a minute and a
Why
half
are
on
you
that.
arguing
Move on
and
to the next item,
interrupting?
please.
Oh, did you count the minute? I didn't know my minute was
Speaker,
up
this is
for
your
all
last
of it,
warning.
for that item. Okay, so for 36 now, let's talk about 36. Arts development, Veterans Memorial Statue, right? Okay, now we're going to move on to 37.
Get the kids out of here.
And now we're going to move on to 38. And now we're going to move on to 39. And now we're going to move on to 40. The declaration of emergency. You guys are like Hannah Montana when she got her dad's credit card for emergency, using it over and over and over. Oh, it's an emergency. It's the rain in LA. It's an emergency. That's freaking hilarious. Okay? Now we're going to go to item 41. Possible ratification of the aqueduct failing. That's an infrastructure failure that was most likely predicted, could have been predicted, using very easy statistics. You guys failed. That's not an emergency. So there needs to be another way to word this so that you can get the funds that you need, raise some money, maybe take some, shuffle some money around. That's not an emergency because your infrastructure is failing after not addressing it. You know, maybe this is a little bit of a scam. Now for my general public comment, and I'm going to go, I would like my minute, please, because you interrupted me.
I say you get a minute 30.
4118, the unconstitutionality, the fact that you are trying to interrupt me to say those things, that is illegal. It's a violation of my First Amendment right. And I take that very seriously, and I know the people in the council chambers today take that very seriously. I know some city attorneys have said they take that very seriously. I hope they mean it, because this is honestly a disgrace to the California legislative system. This is a disgrace. So when somebody's speaking about constitutionality on an item, you need to let them have their uninterrupted time. If they go a little bit over, you know what? You allow a lot of shit to happen. I don't understand why you can't allow somebody to speak and get their full point across. It's really rude and just disappointing. We the people deserve better. Thank you for my time. God bless everybody in the council chambers.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Ah, he's pretty funny.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller, what line?
Hi, good morning. Item 35, 38, and public comment, please.
Okay, so you get a minute for each of the items, so 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general. Please begin.
Thank you. Item 35, 4118 needs to go. And it should have never been a thing. The only thing that 4118 does is kills people and destroys their property. If 4118 was actually a thing for people that lives in homes, then you know what? Those people would lose every item in their home because of 4118. It needs to go. 38. Our country is under attack with trans rights, LGBT rights, and every other right we have as an American. And the fact that you guys only put a $400 price tag on this recognition or celebration or whatever you want to call it is grossly negligence on your guys' part. Because of the fact is, we all know that Kevin DeLeon is still sitting there, and he doesn't represent anyone in this category. Trans Day, trans needs to have a lot more money, and the LGBTQ community needs a lot more money. We need to protect the rights of every American and every Angelino at this point. I'll go on to public comment.
Sure, please begin.
Kevin DeLeon, you're still sitting here as a racist, bigoted, cold-hearted pig. We all know that you are exactly who you are. You continue to sit there and make motions and vote on items that you don't even care about because you're a cold-hearted, thick-headed, bigoted jerk. You need to resign. And every single one of you people that are sitting there on that horseshoe, allowing him to be there, shame, 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 shame on each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Shame.
Next speaker.
Shame.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on? Caller with the last four digits 1172, please press *6 to unmute.
So speaker with the digits 1172, if you're there, please press *6. Nope. Okay, let's move on.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Thanks, Jimmo.
Good morning. I would like to speak on 1938 and general public comment.
Great. So you have a minute for each for those two items. So 2 minutes there and then a minute for general. Please begin.
Thank you. I would like someone to explain to me how you can justify paying over $800,000 for a studio apartment to house homeless people. The corruptions that involved is disgusting. The people that are getting rich off the homeless crisis are worse than the people that are into interspecies erotica. Looking to smoke and scan construction, they could build them for half that, and Stinks has a kitty cam. Number 38, trans days should be identified as a different day. General public comment, Miss Lewis, look me up on IG. You and me can bang out a protest in your chambers anytime. Do you know what I'm saying? And to the women that came before me, you're welcome.
Do you want general public comment, speaker? No? You can't. Okay.
Oh!
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Hello. Hello, my name is Kelly Hamilton, and I'd like to speak on 1933 in general public comment.
Okay, so 33 they actually voted on, but you can talk about it in
Oh, sorry, 35. I meant 35.
Oh,
Homelessness.
okay, so you have a minute for the two items and then a minute for general. So please begin.
Well, first I'd like to say that I find it ironic that council, the august body that I'm speaking to, had a lovely tribute to Gloria Molina, who spoke truth unapologetically to an entrenched political machine. And I recognize that, having sat here and listened to many comments, that there's been a lot of coarse, vitriolic representations made to this body, and I respect that you sit there politely and listen, but I must say that for every one speaker, I'm sure that there is a multitude of others who don't have the courage or the time to come forward. I am specifically discussing ultra vires acts on behalf of the Plum Committee and the City Planning Committee with regard to CEQA appeals and the
So, Speaker, you
ultra-vires act.
clearly, that was obviously your general public comment. Do you want to speak on the items?
Yes.
So please stick with the items now.
Well, I would like to finally speak to the fact that this committee will ultimately be responsible with all of these actions, approved actions, to be confronted with the continued vitriol by those with whom you represent, by making these decisions that clearly do not represent the electorate for which you should be representing.
So he's talking about.
That's all I have to say today.
He keeps talking about vitriol.
This aggression will not stand, man.
That's it.
Thank you.
Enough with the vitriol.
Speaker.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Oh, man.
Speaker, which items would you like to speak on?
Yes! Oh, items, Fleeby.
Thank you.
So you have
general public comment.
You have 3 minutes for items 1, 2, 19, and 35 through 41, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Yes. Now, let's go over the items. You have my items, sir? Yes, it is, sir.
Please continue with the items.
I'm trying to help my puppet, okay, Fobble? Jesus Christ, he
Last
doesn't
warning.
have hands.
Please stick with the item.
Thank you. Item number 1, yes, is that on the topic? Fuck item number 1. Item number 2, fuck item number 2. 19. Item number 19, I'm neutral on. If Kevin De Leon votes for item 19, I will support it. If not, fuck it too. 35, fuck item 35. 36, fuck item 36. 37, fuck item 37. 38, fuck item 38. 39, fuck item 39. 40. I'm not sure about 40. Let me take another look at this. It says that it's corrupt. I am against item 40. And item 41, we will fuck item 41. Yes, as you know, you're declaring emergencies today on your agenda. That's so you can steal federal and state funds. So one day, Fobble can testify against you future council defendant, like Dr. Mark Ridley, no name. Yes, who's the next city council member that's going to get indicted? We're taking odds over in Vegas. Now we will get into the general public comment.
Go ahead.
Yes, that's right. And we are urging Kevin De Leon, known as Mr. Lion, to seek re-election. He's doing such a good job in City Watch today. If you're a friend of Kevin De Leon, according to them, you can get $5,000 cash. And he has over $2 million of cash left over from Jose Huizar to give out to anybody he wants for anything. So let's sing the Kevin De Leon song. I want $5,000 free. I support you, Kevin. Give me a $5,000 gift card like at City Watch. Vote for Kevin De Leon for re-election. Kevin for re-election. He only pretends to be a racist. Actually, he's
Thank
really
you very
a
much.
nice
Next
guy.
speaker. Next speaker.
He's actually a really nice guy.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Dude's fucking the deepest troll ever, dude. He's too funny, dog. How does he not laugh at hearing all that? He's
Speaker,
right
you
there.
All of the above and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for items 1, 2, 19, and 35 through 41, and then a minute for general. Please begin.
Mr. City Attorney, I believe you speak and read very beautiful. Until I saw the gentleman in the pink jacket read today, he was just blowing that out of the water.
Thanks. So
But,
can we stick with the items?
Yes. Let's go with number 1, I guess. And if you have to be brought in front to ask for an alcohol permit, you should know that you should not be giving that away. There's too many available already, but again, it becomes revenue for the committee or for the city. And you already know you should be going against all that. There should be no alcohol permits. There should be no more gun permits. And I'm sorry, I'm an activist. I'm with Dan too. So let's go. It just bothers me that Mr. City Attorney, the closest gentleman, I don't know if that's O'Farrell or in front of you, next to you, but he's the only person that's been sitting in that chair listening to all
That's
the
the phone number right there.
And I applaud him for that.
Jareth.
The rest of the council people in and out.
669-254-5252.
My friend said, why are you running for city council?
So
I
can
said,
we
to change that?
Can we stick with the items or go to general?
35. Clearing out the areas. Yeah, it's against a lot of people's situation. We're going again.
Okay.
The investor of the homes that live in that area, the people in the park that live in that area, we need to make sure it's safe for the community. You should be able to walk up and down the streets without worrying about things.
It's true.
And obviously, if there's a situation there, we need to address it. It has to be cleaned up. It has to be done. It wasn't there before. It's not acceptable. We accepted it because of this homeless crisis. I understand that. Or we allowed it and we changed it. Now it's time to change it back because the community needs that. If you're not taking away nothing from nobody that they righteously own. There's no claim to that land, and they need to go ahead and figure this out. But 35, yes, it needs to be cleaned up. It's not safe for the community to be able to walk down the block. They need to be able to do that in the mornings. They can't go for jogs. They can't take their kids out. They don't feel comfortable. So please let me make it recognized to the public. There's a lot to be said about taking that back. Taking it back.
Caller from Moe's Tavern.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller! Caller!
Caller with the last 4 digits 2616. Please press *6 to unmute.
So speaker with the digits 2616.
Yeah, it's Eric Previn.
Hi.
Thank you, Mr. Fulmer. It's Eric Previn, and I would like to speak on the items as well as the general public comment.
So did you say you want to speak on the items or just general? It was a bit hard to
He
hear.
said
you, Mr.
both.
Previn.
Yeah, I would like to speak on the items as well as the general.
So you have 3 minutes for items 1 to 2, or 1 and 2, 19 and 35 through 41, and then general. So please begin.
Thank you, Kathleen.
Yeah, what about the closed session items? That would be half the my
The closed sessions all been voted on. You're free to talk about them in general.
Thank you,
if wish.
Siamese
Please begin.
twins.
All right, so I'll go to the beginning and talk about the liquor licenses. You know, nobody prefers too many liquor licenses, and I don't have any reason to believe that this is too many. But I will note with a bit of concern that that's pretty much all you do, and you really should be doing a lot more for the communities that it doesn't seem like is happening right now. I'm just so bereft by the news that I read, where there's a major strike in the middle of our city. And in the meantime, everybody wants to disguise it with celebrations for Gloria Molina, who is not well, but she is not dead. I want to make that clear. We're hoping that she can pull through. I know it's not good, but I just find this whole thing very, very awkward. And all we can think of to do is approve some liquor licenses. I mean, good Lord, are you familiar with what happens when people drink and drive? Studio City, which has been handed over to Nithya Raman by Paul Krikorian skillfully. And by the way, it was very nice to see the kids from Oakwood. Oakwood is an excellent school where I think Krikorian's kid may go. And my kid went at one point. It's a great facility, and they have a lovely bridge right over.
A lovely bridge.
I guess it's Magnolia. That they had. The team at CD2 are terrific.
He was referring to the entire LAUSD is on strike right now, so all the kids can't go to school. So you're talking hundreds of thousands of kids, and they haven't mentioned it one time. They've been busy patting each other on the back.
I want to say it was nice to see her father-in-law over.
So,
at
Mr.
the
Previn,
Gloria
I
Molina.
confused which item you're on.
Yeah.
Which item are you on?
Hi, Leanne.
I'm on the liquor licenses, and I'm having a drink as I discuss how it was nice to see Zev over at the Board of Supervisors.
He's having a
celebrating Gloria Molina, who they're naming Grand Park after. And you're naming all of the tributaries around Grand
So
Park
you're
after
so
as
okay.
well.
If you're on the Grand Park issue, that's general. So why don't we send you to general public comment then?
You know, as a courtesy, I will go to general public comment, but there I want to talk about what's going on in this lawsuit.
It's just the
Karen
background. I don't know why.
et al. Bloodbath. I mean, this is a $1.75 million settlement, and I can't tell what this thing is about. I mean, this is about, I think it's about, the Constitution doesn't ordinarily require a stay of a civil proceeding pending the outcome of a criminal.
For some reason, it's
So
the
I think
background.
There was a car accident, and they wanted to terminate
it's
one of the
that coming
proceedings,
through.
maybe the lawsuit, while they wait for the
See what I mean?
criminal procedure. Let me just say this, okay? We need better scrutiny. And
Doesn't
the
happen
system of
normally.
the State Claims Board and the Krikorian shuffling everything around, now Blumenfield, who's much less comfortable doing it because it's a horrible thing to do. We need to change it. We need to be more transparent, and then that will drive all the rain, as they say. The retaliation lawsuits, the problems we have are endemic because we don't fix the problems, we pay them off. And that's not a good model.
Thank you,
for
Mr.
a city
Previn.
such as us.
Next speaker.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller.
I would like to speak to general public comment today.
Absolutely. You have a minute, and the floor is yours.
Smoke. Yeah, I just want to start off by saying it's kind of ironic and funny at the same time that you all pretend to care about people giving public comments while simultaneously not paying attention or listening. People aren't calling in just to hear the sound of their own voice. They're calling in because they want y'all to listen and actually do something about the problems that they're sharing with y'all. And secondly, I don't know if Paul's in the room, but I just wanted to speak to something he said yesterday during the committee meeting. Paul, no one has anything about, nothing against, the unions or any of these groups. What people were concerned about.
They hang up on him?
I think it sounds like you're done.
It sounds like you're done. No, he was spitting facts and you hung up on him.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Dirty. Did him dirty. And he waited fucking 40 minutes, probably 30 minutes for that shit.
I had my hand raised on item 5, but I can just talk about it generally, I guess. I was an appellant on a CEQA appeal.
So I'm not quite sure what items you want.
Did him dirty.
I guess that's
It was
general.
item 5. It was item 5, but I had my hand raised. But
So item 5 has been voted on, but you can talk about it in general. So set the clock for a minute. Please begin.
Sound like you were done.
And I wanted general comment, because if it's just general, I can just go on for another minute. Is that true?
So again, maybe I'm misunderstanding you. I think you said you wanted to speak on item 5, which we voted on. But
Right, hand was raised. My hand was raised for item 5, and I wasn't called upon. I'm not even sure if that was it, but now,
Your hand was raised?
I would have liked to have spoken on that. And then general comment, I guess, because it's a TOC comment. I'm just in general TOC.
So I'm having trouble understanding you, speaker, but it sounds to me like you want to speak on item 5. Is that correct?
Yes, I would like to. Thank you.
Okay, so that has been voted on, so you can't speak on it as an item, but you can speak about it in general public comment. We'll set the clock for a minute, and you can talk about that or anything else in the subject matter jurisdiction of the city. Please begin.
So I live in CD11, and unfortunately, the transit-oriented communities projects, the bulk of which only 3% of the city is taking 100% of the tier 3 and 4. It was illegally drafted, illegally approved by a corrupt city council. As you've heard my people before speak of that, and it is ludicrous to think that these buildings being given Class 32 exemptions when they're clearly commercial buildings. My street is so narrow you have to pull over anyway. This will be the second one. Again, only 3% of the city is getting the tier 3 and 4, the biggest project. So, and the pretext that it's affordable housing, 90% are wildly not affordable, and the other 10% are not being rented out because there's no oversight, there's no budget, there's no employee. So all of these incentives are being given to these COC buildings.
Thanks.
Thank
Next
you.
speaker.
Goodbye.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
It's like they're on a trap door and they just let it go and dunk you. Bye.
Caller with the last 4 digits, 6818. Please press *6 to unmute.
Yeah.
Ejection
I'm available. I can hear you now. I like to speak on all available items and general public comment, please.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for items 1, 2, 19, and 35 through 41, followed by a minute for general. Please begin.
Eject.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Fauble. I want to start with, let me see, item number 19. Yes, we definitely need affordable housing, definitely, because we have a lot of low-income families and homeless people who are on the streets. Most families who are working class cannot afford housing, and that's the big problem. Yes, definitely do support number 19. Now, let's go to item number, let me see, give me 1 second.
He's got his cliff notes.
Item number 35. Now, I do see Mr. Lee, and I can't pronounce the other name. They're talking about removing 4118. The only question should be, is that are there no available shelters available? Is there no shelters available to house homeless? Because if there is not, then that is a legitimate reason to lift the 4118. And I'd like to also talk about regarding item number 38. Yes, this is a recognition for the Transgender Day. Now, one thing we need to talk about that doesn't get talked about a lot in the transgender community is the fact that we need to recognize the statistics that has also shown an increase of suicidal deaths among transgender people. And the fact is that the number one thing we don't talk about more often is that children transitioning from one gender to another at a very young age, and we need to recognize that children do not have the full cognitive brain development to understand what they're doing. And we have seen children who become adults are starting to regret their transition from their gender, and that's what we're seeing, more suicidal deaths. I do see item number 39. I'm a big fan of recycling wastewater and turning that water into clean water that you can use to water the plants. And that's a great idea. And I do support number 39. And I'd like to move on to general public comment.
Please do so.
Okay. I would like for every council member in the council chambers to sit in their seats during public comment. Now, watching the live video feed, I did see Councilmember Soto Martinez just standing around and chatting with his colleagues, and he needs to understand that he needs to sit down and pay attention. And I totally disagree with removing the fence at Echo Park, because we don't want to see more homeless encampments and see more unsanitary conditions at that park.
Thanks,
A lot of
Zip.
homeowners in this area pay property taxes, and that property tax funds the park to maintain it. And we want to maintain it to keep it clean so everyone in the public can go to that park. It's a beautiful park, and we want to maintain it well. We don't want to see homeless defecating, urinating at the pond, and that's something we do not want to see happening.
Thanks, Speaker.
Want to hear nobody
Caller, which
pissing in the
items-
pond? No pissing.
Evacuation beginning.
Yes, all available comments and general comments, please.
Sure. So you have 3 minutes for items 1, 2, 19, and 35 through 41, followed by a minute general. Please begin.
Thank you. So last week, the LACMA encampment from CD5, Yaroslavsky, that were placed in Hotel Silver Lake from Karen Bass's Inside Safe program were evicted and displaced to the Grand Hotel in downtown and other locations to make room for none other than Ugo's district homeless. This question was posed to the councilman at Saturday's town hall, and this clearly angered him. Already acting like a politician, he deflected the question to Mayor Bass, who was not there, and said, "Next question." Some of these displaced people have already returned back to the streets into homelessness. I understand it's a complicated issue and it takes great planning to manage it. What makes him think he's ready to take down this fence when it is working for the community?
Okay, so
when he claims he's still not
Speaker,
even fully staffed.
Sorry to cut in. That was obviously general public comment. Do you want to speak directly to any of the items? Speaker?
So, yes. So the encampments on Lemoyne.
So, Speaker, do you want to speak directly?
Okay.
Which item do you want to speak on? I'll put it that way.
It was 35 and general comment.
All right, so go ahead. Please stick with 35.
Okay. You have a moral obligation to do your job, Ugo, to keep the community safe. You're not in campaign mode anymore. Do your job. I yield the rest of my time. Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, she didn't want to speak on 50 because she doesn't know anything about it. Or 35.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
I think it was 35.
Yes, good morning.
Hi.
Yes,
I think we're getting some feedback. If you could turn down the volume on your other devices.
Turn down your radio.
Which
sucker.
items would you like to speak on today?
Yes, the liquor license and also 35 with the issue of the homeless situation.
Okay,
And public comment.
Okay, so the liquor licenses are 1 and 2, and 35 is about the removal of 4118 motions. So 3 minutes for those items, and then a minute for general. Please begin.
Thank you, and I thank you for allowing me to speak on a Tuesday. Normally, I'm not allowed. Quickly, as far as the liquor license, we need to have input from the neighborhood councils, but the neighborhood councils only represent a small portion of the community. If there were meetings and the public was allowed to speak and give their opinion, and they were in favor of these liquor licenses, then so be it. But if they feel they need another place to buy their liquor, then allow the community to do that, and I hope that every district does that. In regards to item 35, we need to house everybody. We need to fix everybody. We need to get everybody mentally straight. We need to do all that. That has to be top priority, but not at the cost of our neighborhoods and our communities, where if you take a look on Devonshire and Balboa, yesterday I want to go have my oil changed. Once again, the homeless are all back there, and there was a guy completely naked, and he was showing everything, and there was another person defecating, and as we're there getting our cars fixed, we have to observe that. So
you ever
at
seen
what
a grown
point
man naked?
does the community finally say enough is enough? Yes, we will help those who need help, but my God, at what point is enough enough? And so when you remove these 4118s, I don't care who's out there that disagrees with me and calls me everything you want. I started homeless, and I'm very proud of that, because I didn't quit and because of the beautiful people in Van Nuys who helped me. So again, let's do everything for the homeless, but not, and I want to apologize to the residents. You folks do everything just to live your day and make sure your children are safe. I apologize to you because you still have to go through all this. Let's go to public comment, please.
Absolutely. Please begin.
Thank you. Miss Molina, someone who I watched for many, many years in the political ring, I thank you. Not as a Latino, but as a human being who saw the beauty and kindness and the integrity and dignity that you carry. I want to thank you for that, and I apologize to you for those who have come after you who have disappointed you. But don't worry, we're going to keep an eye on Miss Hernandez, and we're going to make sure that she becomes legendary like you. So.
Thank you, Shoop.
Miss Molina, I'm telling you, your next journey is going to be a beautiful one. I sent Mr. Kokorian something that I hope, if you want to see it, that'll prove to you, 2 things I can prove to you, that your next journey is going to be an absolutely beautiful one, and you deserve it because you are a kind and wonderful human being. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shoop. I agree.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Kick David DeLeon. Hello.
Caller with the private number, please press *6 to unmute.
Who's
so if there's a caller dialing in with a blocked number, I think we've connected. Okay. Speaker, are you there? Speaker? Okay, so clearly they're not even telling us they want to speak on. We're going to move on to the next speaker.
Block callers for sure. Get it.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller.
19 in general public comment.
So 19, I think you said 19 in general
like the
public
last
comment, so you
guy.
have a minute for each. Please begin.
Smoke.
On 19, we need to get that umbrella off it. Affordable housing, we need to know what that means to the geographic area that we're building on. Can somebody in that district afford the houses you're allowing to be built? We need to get a number. Just affordable homes is not a number. $800,000 home is costing you $5,000 a month on mortgage alone. We're not even talking interest rates. So we need to get that number cleared before we start giving away property or allowing people to build. Give us a number, what it's going to cost, and quit using the word affordable housing when we don't have a set number to the geographical area of income that they're being built on.
Trying to
Poverty
fix the
level,
camera.
$37,000.
I'm sorry,
36,700 if you want to be clear.
You can go to general.
So can they afford to buy that house?
Get it,
If they can't afford to buy the house, it's not affordable housing. And we're allowing that to be happening because money be coming into the city
Didn't hit
for
him.
these contractors
Tiny little
or the
camera
union
anyways.
workers that are doing it.
Just tipped over and
We
woke him
can't
up.
do that no more. We need to be clear and transparent to the public. City council people, you take attendance to hear these numbers, bring them up, yet we're not having that.
He'll lay back down.
It's not affordable housing if it's over $450,000. $350,000 is still $2,300 a month. Can a middle income person make that? Probably. So let's get it those houses to that level if we're going to build them. And if they can't, then they should not be under the umbrella affordable houses under those permits. I mean, listen, I'm sorry I crunch numbers, but that's what I do. And I told you we're going into a big depression 2 months ago.
Thank you, Speaker.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller. Her voice is rad. Caller.
Caller with the last four digits 1871. Please press *6 to unmute.
So, Speaker with the digits 1871. If you're there, please press *6. Great.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, I did that twice and it didn't go through. So here I am.
Great.
Let's see, item 40, and then general public comment, please.
I think you said 19 and general public?
No, item 40.
Oh.
40.
Go sit on your chair.
And
over
then
there.
general public comment.
Perfect.
Sit
So you
on
have
the
a minute
chair.
for each. Please go ahead.
Okay. Item 40, emergency declaration for, lots of rain. Basically, I think if LA City wants to help reduce the aspect of the fallen trees during a rainstorm, maybe, and this could be a novel idea, but maybe LA City might want to take seriously the so-called urban forestry division and start trimming trees before they start falling on people's houses, cars, streets, passing humans, dogs, whatever. Because even before the rain starts, 311 tells callers asking for city services on a city-owned parkway tree that city trees are only trimmed every 10 to 15 years. But they can't tell you when your tree is going to get trimmed. So in essence, you have to wait for a city tree, large branch, or whatever to fall before the city acts. And that seems pretty bogus to me. You guys might want to reevaluate that and reduce the amount of damages coming in and be proactive in maintenance. So, general public comment?
Sure.
This relates to item 5, which is just it's a appeal, I guess, on 2460 South Purdue. It's a new 6-story, 27 residential unit to be built. 27 subterranean parking spaces, or 27 units, but only 26 subterranean parking spaces, which means there's not enough subterranean parking, which in essence forces street parking because most households have more than one car per household. And I just wonder why LA City Council, while LA City keeps allowing developers to basically blight neighborhood areas by not providing enough parking, especially once we're going to have to all start moving them over to electric charging, which is going to bring a whole bunch of other issues. Also, I noticed 7 big non-protected trees are being cut down, and that's a problem because supposedly Los Angeles is trying to go green. And so, you're going to take down 7 big trees, and what's going to go up? Little
Thank
sticks.
You. You dummies are sitting there 20 minutes a pop for $20, thinking,
Caller,
I'm
which
driving
items
for
would you like
free.
to speak on?
Buying electricity, I'll be passing you by in my gas car.
Sure, you have a minute. Please speak.
Still polluting.
Hi,
Hi, good morning, council members. My name is Gail Rath, and I live in District 2. I'm a taxpayer and voter in the city of Los Angeles. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this morning. I ask, is it my right or privilege to call in? I'm not sure what it is, but close to 3 years of having the opportunity to speak by phone to the Los Angeles Animal Services Commission meetings. Now there is no virtual option to follow along or make public comment. I was advised that the room that they are equipped in, that is not equipped for both, which I would look into because I think this is important. Please urge the commissioners and the board to make them hybrid in person and online so more Angelinas can participate in making these meetings easily acceptable, especially when it's critical to have to have them as transparent
Thanks,
as possible.
Speaker.
Straight cutter off. Thanks, Speaker. Clack.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Hi. Item number 40 in general public comment. And by the way, you keep cutting me off after I'm on hold for an hour, Bobble, and you're going to get caught for it.
I'm sorry, we're not intentionally cutting you off. So you have a minute for item 40, followed by general. So
He called
please
back.
begin.
I knew it.
I suggest you check your email for a screenshot, my friend.
Ooh.
Item 40, declaration of an emergency. Well, on my blog, Daniel Gus with 2 S's, danielgus.substack.com, you have an imminent danger that is far more important than this declaration of an emergency, and I would suggest that you substitute in this one an immediate investigation into homicidal and suicidal threats by Deputy Chief Katie Kepner at the fire department, who the LAPD and the LAFD have covered up. Homicidal and suicidal threats that she made that are recorded and that the LAFD and the LAPD covered up. So in terms of an emergency, item 40, I suggest you look at that and prioritize it over what you have in item 40. I'll start my general public comment, please.
Okay, please begin.
Yes, general public comment, Daniel Gus, G-U-S-S, danielgus.substack.com. I have a new column out as of yesterday, thousands and thousands of hits, and it's called LAFD Commander, Katie Kepner, command staffer made homicidal, suicidal threats during 21 domestic violence attacks. I'm not saying alleged, it's recorded. I am saying that Katie Kepner at the LA Fire Department made homicidal and suicidal threats against a civilian and apparently, allegedly, had a domestic violence incident with Detective Scarlett Martinez. The LAFD lied and covered it up. The LAPD lied and covered it up. And this person is in charge of mental health advisory at the LA Fire Department. I'm telling you, you're going to have a major liability lawsuit, a wrongful death suit on your hands if this woman either kills or encourages people to kill themselves. She threatened to drive her car off of a cliff. That's not alleged. That's on tape.
Thank you,
You have an
Speaker.
emergency.
Jesus.
So
what?
No more callers in the queue.
So, Mr.
Oh,
President,
then
we've
we're-
exhausted all the speakers in the room and on the teleconference queue.
Good,
Thank you. We've taken public comment in chambers and on the phone. We're going to close public comment, closing the phone lines and close public comment on all items.
I guess the fun's
Council members,
over.
we're now able to vote on some of the items. Mr. Clerk, which items are before us at this time?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 1, motion Raman Bloomfield, 2, Soto Martinez Yaroslavsky, and items 35 through 39.
They may get loud in the
All right,
room.
members, any comments on these matters?
That's all we can hope for
Seeing
now.
none, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
There's only a few left in the room. I'd say
14
like
ayes.
5 or 6. What are you doing, buddy?
Thank you, Mr. Clerk. Let's move on to items called special.
What are you doing?
Yes, Mr. President. Item 3, called special by Councilmember Soto Martinez and Councilmember Lee.
Councilman Lee, floor is yours, sir.
Conversations with LAPD and hearing frustrations from officers that it is near impossible to hold
Enough.
catalytic converter thieves accountable for their crimes. I am pleased to see this ordinance before us today. I just want to share some examples of the amount of catalytic converters and thefts that have gone up in these past several years. In 2018, we had 972 catalytic converters that were reported stolen across the city. In 2022, we had 8,000 thefts of catalytic converters reported that year. That is a 728% increase in just the last 5 years.
How many people
When
did
crime
report
data
it?
shows this kind of escalation, I believe it is time that we act. Today's item is a result of a motion I introduced last April, asking the city attorney to draft an ordinance that would prohibit the unlawful possession of catalytic converters. What this ordinance does is it requires that someone who's in possession of an unattached catalytic converter to produce valid documentation to prove that they are in lawful possession of the catalytic converter. We've heard, I think a lot of us have heard the frustrations from LAPD that there's no way to process, to when they find someone with a catalytic converter, to take it to that next step, to ask, to even inquire as to where that came from.
Later, Rio.
Colleagues, this is a common sense measure that provides an additional tool to law enforcement to assist in our efforts to curb this increase in thefts. I don't have to tell you that all these crimes have a massive impact on our communities. The repairs associated with these thefts can be in the thousands of dollars and severely hamper a family's finances. If a family can even afford to have the repairs made, they can be without their vehicle for over a week. This crime is hurting our communities. It's hurting our most vulnerable families in the city. It is imperative that we act now and provide this tool to law enforcement so they can work to bring down the staggering number of catalytic converter thefts in our city. I urge an aye vote today so this tool can be in effect as fast as possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yessie, thank you so much for
Councilwoman
gifting
Rodriguez.
22 woods.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you, Mr. Lee.
Thank you, Yessie.
You know, we've.
I'm not just whistling
I want
Dixie,
to
no.
thank
I'm
so many
singing you
members
a
of the
Oh, it's your
community that have
birthday?
not only reported and participated in some of the.
Nah, we're gonna celebrate your birthday right tonight. Hopefully, are you gonna come hang with us tonight? I mean, I understand if you can't because you got your family, but we're gonna do it right tonight.
You're absolutely right. It has affected the most vulnerable neighborhoods that are left
Happy
without a vehicle.
birthday.
Their only form of
birthday.
transportation in many cases, and for communities
Happy
like ours that don't
birthday, you thing from another world,
don't
you.
have that
Happy
public
birthday,
transit
Yassi.
infrastructure that is as reliable as some other areas. It's their only means
Tonight
of
we
getting
do our
to
normal
where they
show
need to
tonight,
go.
Lair.
When these thefts occur, they are left with nothing, with no options.
8 p.m. tonight.
oftentimes, and it's cost prohibitive in many circumstances to even really deal with the situation. So I know it's had a tremendous impact in certain neighborhoods in my district, and I know that has been the case across the city. So I want to thank you for this, for your effort on this and your collaboration. I know it's an important one that is much needed to provide the right tools in response to these thefts. I know we are still facing and recovering from a whole host of impacts, not just to private theft of catalytic converters, but even if we look at our public infrastructure with street lighting, for example, there are so many things that we are combating right now that we all need to be working on so that we can provide every neighborhood in the city of Los Angeles, regardless of your zip code, the same protection and security to be able to live in the kind of communities that everyone aspires to live in. So I thank you for your work on it. Colleagues, I ask for your aye vote.
Any other comments, members?
Now that's a comfortable cat.
Councilmember Lee and Councilmember Rodriguez. You're right. This is a problem that has impacted the private sector and the public sector. And so these
And every
thefts, must be
sector in
apprehended.
between.
Any more discussion, members? Seeing none, let's open the roll. I'm sorry.
Close the roll. Let's open the roll and close
Councilwoman.
Thank you, Council President. I just want to note that as written, it is not required to prove the catalytic converter was stolen to establish the possession is not a lawful possession, which means that the simple ignorance of the law could lead to a misdemeanor. And we're talking about vulnerable communities, And I believe that we should be supporting our communities, educating our families, educating car owners about, this issue that's occurring very frequently. But criminalizing the mere possession of a catalytic converter, I think is the wrong way to go, because we know which communities are going to be the ones that are most criminalized because of this.
Well, then if they don't steal it, they'll be fined,
Makes it
girl.
a misdemeanor. It creates a fine of $1,000. You can go to jail for 6 months. Even a short incarceration of a couple days can destabilize someone's life forever and leads to collateral consequences that they have to carry until they can get an expungement, if they can get that. And as written, it requires you to have more information and more backup and pictures, more than it takes to require, to register a vehicle, which is already difficult. So I just am not in agreement with creating more opportunities to criminalize our communities, but I do welcome an opportunity to discuss with LAPD and other stakeholders on how we actually solve this issue, maybe implement more solutions that prevent catalytic converters from being stolen, instead of just responding to potential ownership of those. Thank you.
So if they don't steal them, they'll be just fine. Okay? Simple as that, lady. I don't give a shit what neighborhood you're from. Playing the poor role now. Well, I hate to break it to you. A thief is a thief.
Passes. The ordinance will be held over till Tuesday, April 11, 2023 for second consideration.
Didn't pass.
Okay, that will be the order.
There's 4 no's up in that
What's
joint.
next before us, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, items 1, 2, 35 and through 39. The roll call is 13 ayes and 0 noes.
Got a shiny ass forehead,
Council may
bro.
now vote on items 19.
Does he have Vaseline
as
on his
amended by
forehead?
motion Raman Soto Martinez.
Is he like Vaselined up? What's he doing?
Okay, members.
Is that
any,
like
any
Purell
comments
or
on this
something
item?
on his forehead? Maybe that's Purell.
Let's vote.
I could totally see him
item
smearing
19
Purell
as
on his
amended.
forehead, because
Open
that's like the
roll.
open part. Couldn't get the mask
Close
up
roll,
there.
tabulate the votes.
So just Purell my
12
forehead in
ayes.
case anything lands on my forehead.
There's a request to send this item forthwith.
That will be the order.
The council may now,
Idiot keeps
the council may now consider item 40, which is a motion Krikorian Price and a resolution Krikorian Price.
Okay, I understand the city attorney has.
Actually, item 40 is fine as it is. It's item 41 when we get to it, Mr. President.
Pardon? Okay. Let's go.
That mask
let's
was
go with
made
item
for a
40 at this
pumpkin.
time. Members, let's open the roll.
'Cause he's
Close the
scared,
roll, tabulate the
Crouton.
vote.
12 ayes.
12 ayes. No
Motion
names.
passes. What is next before us?
Oh, thanks.
The council may now consider item 41, motion Krikorian Price and resolution Krikorian Price.
And this is the one on
What do you want?
which I need
Stan's
to
water.
orchestrate a tiny adjustment.
Stan's water.
I had misstated
Stan's
the
water, Stan. What do you
relevant
want? You got
section
your water
number
fountain?
in paragraph 5 of the reso. It should be
Well, tell me
371, not 371E6, but it got left out altogether on the document that was just circulated. So if I may, Mr. President, may I recommend that you make an oral amendment to item 41 to adjust paragraph 5 in the attached reso so that the words
It's like a dog. He wants to
371
play with the
and
fucking water bottle.
be inserted
Like a pit bull.
after the word section and before the word 372. Again,
Still
that's
thinks he's a
paragraph
dog.
5.
All right, I will move that.
Okay, we would need a second.
Do we have a second?
Ms. Park.
Councilman Park.
Thank you. And with that, I believe the item can be voted on as amended if there are no objections.
Well, there it goes.
Okay,
You want me
members,
to bring
any
it
other- any
back?
comments? Then let's vote on item 41 as amended. Let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the vote.
12 ayes.
All right, that passes. Let's also send item 18 forthwith.
He looks drunk. Fool's on a bender.
What's next before us, Mr. Clerk?
Mr. President, the council has motions for posting and referral.
He's
those
not
matters
wearing that
are posted
70s
and
sport
referred.
coat.
The desk is clear, Mr. President.
Mr. DeLeon.
Yeah, Mr. Council President, I want to move item number 17 forthwith as well.
Oh, here we
Item
go. They're getting
17,
loud because he's trying to talk.
17,
Here we go.
Thank you.
No objection.
Let's see. Hold on.
Members, do we have any announcements for today? This rainy day in L.A. Councilwoman Park.
Thank you, Council President. I just wanted to recognize and acknowledge Miss Leilani Reed, who is with us in council chambers this morning. She has now been confirmed in her appointment to the House LA Citizens Oversight Committee. She is a resident of my district and an absolutely extraordinary woman. I am proud and pleased that she is going to be taking on this new role. She comes from a very interesting background.
How much money of the tax dollars they've siphoned from us, the taxpayers, are going to pay her to solve this homeless problem, which she's not going to solve? So how much is she siphoning off? That's my question.
Of domestic violence that impacted her housing. And I know that she is going to bring to this very critical role a sensibility and a compassion that is going to make her extremely effective. She is also someone whose heart is in this work, but she also believes in accountability. And I welcome her to this new role, and I applaud her for her willingness to take on this incredible opportunity and serve our city. So thank you, Ms. Reed. Congratulations.
You're biting, baby.
Yes, we thank her contribution and the others that have been appointed to this very important body. We look forward to their input, ideas, suggestions as we move forward in making sure that we are housed.
He's biting right now.
Members, any other
This aggression
announcements
will
at
not
this time?
stand, man.
Seeing none, let's stand for adjourning motion.
Oh, man, let's stand for adjourning motion so we can get the fuck up out of here and have some coffee and some tea and whatever else we're going to do.
One more announcement from Councilwoman Hernandez.
Oh, one more announcement.
Councilmember, you want to start first? Okay, thank you. So today, this morning, we went to our prospective neighborhood schools. I grew up in Highland Park, so I visited Franklin High School in Monte Vista, and my 5th grade teacher was still there at Monte Vista, and a handful of my teachers were still at high school that, you know, were striking today with other LAUSD staff. So I did want to uplift that and want to share tremendous gratitude for our educators, the people that make the school run, the people that care for and educate the kids of Los Angeles should have the wages, thriving wages that they deserve, and nothing less than that. And so I just did want to uplift them today and want to uplift their 3-day strike that's happening. And I stand in full support, and I hope that our colleagues also join in full support of their demands so that the folks who take care of our kids can thrive, and so our kids can thrive too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Got it. It took to the
Any
adjourning
other
moment,
announcements?
the last minutes of their shit, when they're all standing up, ready to get the fuck up out of here to talk about probably the most pressing issue, your children, the future.
In the middle. I just want to continue to uplift the strike that's happening. You know, SEIU Local 99 has been without a contract for 3 years. You know, they had a lot of respect during the pandemic. They said, we're going to wait until this is over. But they've been stonewalled, right? And even yesterday, if folks saw the news, you know, they agreed to go into confidential mediation. And it's unfortunate that the superintendent leaked that. We all assume he probably leaked that to the media. And that, you know, anyone that's been in labor and organizing workers, when that happens, that is nothing short of anti-union tactics meant to confuse and divide folks and really muddy the waters. I think there was an opportunity to go in there and try to figure something out, but that has been thrown out. So in the next 2 days, I hope folks go to their local schools and join the picket, and don't forget to wear red. And hopefully we can get a settlement for the folks that take care of our children. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's hope for a speedy settlement so that our kids can benefit. Mr. McCosker?
Sentiments. I would stand in support of SIU Local 99. We're talking about bus drivers, cafeteria workers, custodians, the faces that our kids see every day. They might not know their names, but they are critically important to the safety and the security and the education of our children. So I thank my colleagues for standing up, and I know everyone around this horseshoe has put out information available to parents who are also very frustrated. They have to work. They have to know where to send their kids on this rainy day. So I also urge everyone to get together, get this thing resolved quickly. But I know we're frustrated when school's closed, but we do teach our kids to stick up for themselves, to stick up for their rights. And so they are learning a lesson too. It's a difficult lesson, but it's one that should be acknowledged.
Like the people you throw out of those chambers when they stick up for theirs? You mean those same people? You teach them like that?
People, and parents during this troubling time. Mr. De Leon.
Oh, the racist.
I also, too, want to add. I also want to
Please, let's maintain order.
Okay. Please stop speaking now, or you're going to be ordered.
All right, ma'am. Well, we're gonna order you to leave.
You've been ordered to leave quietly. Do so now.
You can go
quietly.
fuck
You're
yourself.
still obeying the order. Leave quietly.
Thank you for leaving.
Thank you
so
very much.
You're still disobeying.
Mr. President. Go away. Okay.
So sorry, Mr. De Leon. We're not
True.
going to be able to hear until she's
They're all
gone.
enablers. They're all the same racist he is. In that sense. They don't have the nuts or guts to get
All right,
rid
thank
of him.
you.
Complicit.
You've been ordered to remove. Please leave.
Mr. De Leon.
Thank you very much.
That
Mr.
chick has
President.
more
For 7
nuts
years
and
in my
guts than
professional
any of
life,
them on
I was
that
an
horseshoe.
organizer, with the California Teachers Association. And just recently, a few years ago, back in 2019, we were out there shoulder to shoulder with many of the striking rank and file teachers under the heavy rains, just as the heavy rains are hitting us today with our local 99 workers. As Mr. McCosker from the 1-5 just mentioned a few moments ago, I should say, these are the cafeteria workers, these are the school bus drivers.
Because they don't want to, CO. They love them.
Oftentimes, they're the most poorly paid educational workers in the country. In fact, the vast majority are people of color, black and brown. The vast majority
The ones you
work
made fun
for
of.
poverty wages, and they're just 1 degree away from ending up living on the streets with their families. That's why we do stand in solidarity, each and every one of us, shoulder to shoulder. And to the point that Mr. McCosker just mentioned a few moments ago, without a doubt, especially for working parents, it is a sense of frustration because they got to work and they don't know where to leave their kids. But, you know, in a city that's one of the wealthiest cities on planet Earth, where we, treat our workers with such profound disrespect, we have to stand in solidarity, raise our voices collectively together, and make sure they get the contract that they deserve so they can live with dignity and respect. So thank you very much, Mr. President.
So now he cares
Any
about
other
the people he
announcements
was making fun
this
of.
time?
Right? He made fun
Well,
of
we all stand
everybody
for
under the
adjourning
sun, but now he
motions,
cares. And that motherfucker ain't got the guts to
Looking
say
to my
nothing.
left.
He's complicit.
Any? To the
Huh?
right? Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. Be
This
safe
meeting is
and stay dry.
adjourned. All right, we're done. So we got that for the day. It is what it is. Bunch of clowns, dude. And you say, why don't they get rid of them? You said that's well, because they love them. That's their homies, and there's no opposition, and that's what happens when you have no opposition. Okay, absolute power corrupts absolutely, and there you go. That's a perfect example right there. Thank you so much, Mac. I appreciate you. Shout out to you and the rest of the flyer. It's a sad deal because it doesn't matter which side controls. It's just you can't have that. You got to have some opposition. And I loved how these dudes, just notice, guys. I'm not putting anything in anybody's mouth. Just notice this. We were on for just about a little over 2 hours. 2 hours and 13 minutes exactly. Okay? And I want to tell you, in 2 hours and 13 fucking minutes, hold on a second. In 2 hours and 13 fucking minutes, okay, we, you notice that they didn't talk once about a very pressing issue that that there's a full strike and 500,000 kids or more aren't being able to go to school right now. But that didn't matter. That's not a pressing issue at the moment. Okay? It was more about how the people that steal catalytic converters shouldn't be picked on. I mean, literally, that's what that lady was saying. And she was basically admitting that those are the communities that are stealing the what do you call it? It's the the catalytic converters, which again, I don't think is true, but I mean, if you listen to her wording, right? Isn't that what she said? Basically, in not so many words. So, yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous, dude. The most pressing issues they don't even care about. They don't ever listen to you. They're over here telling you about how they're telling their kids to stick up for their rights and this, that, and the other. But yet the people that do in those chambers in front of that horseshoe all get thrown out. Why is that? You know what I mean? Why is that? It's beautiful, right? This is a live shot right now. Mammoth Mountain, man. It's fucking snowing pretty darn good. And just remember, we had 12 feet snowpack, 12 feet of snow up there. So imagine what's going on right now, right? It's definitely popping. It's pop locking for sure. So hold on a second. Oh, that's what I was looking for right there. Look at that shit, dude. Looks great, right? It's perfect for snowball fights. I'll tell you that. And our favorite course is getting re-groomed, I guess. Because check it out. Look, guys. Here's the live shot of the place we love to watch in Minnesota. I'm guessing during the week they removed the rails and all that stuff that was in there, those slide rails, all that stuff. So I guess they're grooming the jumps. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hard pass, hate snow. I mean, again, I don't have too much interaction with it, so for me to get it, I enjoy the little bits that I do. Enjoy a snow joint. Snow joints are nice. The air is so crisp. You got a nice joint. It's just, something you got to do before you go. You got to put that on your bucket list. So, yeah, man. Yeah, man. It looks like kids are having fun. People are having fun out there, which is a good deal. It's what you want. Somebody needs to enjoy it. If we're not, right? If we're just going to sit there. Holy shit. Oh, my God. Check out the Brighton Ski Resort. Oh, my God, dude. So where do you park? Oh, there's one space next to the Ram, but the Ram had to park like an asshole all the way over. So now, you can't really park in front of the red one. I guess there's one right here behind me. Other than that, talk about going skiing today. That's a live shot right now. Brighton Ski Resort. Shit. Just thinking, I'm sure they probably charge for parking, right? And then they charge for the lift ticket too, right? I'm almost positive. This poor sap's looking around like, fuck, man, where is there? I think I see one over here. I can't tell. Hold on. Expensive to ski, yeah. And then you break a binding. It's expensive. And then you just think of the gas, the time, the eating food, and all that other stuff that goes along with it. I mean, hobbies are expensive no matter what you do. There's a lot of expensive hobbies out there, and that is just one of them. And it's just wild to see how, I mean, obviously, it's going to be packed. I knew that, but the fact that it's completely jammed like that. All right, let's take a look. Here's the run here at Mammoth. Oh! I just bailed, too, on the snowboard. That was like me. Yeah. What about baseball cards? What about used baseball cards? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, we can do one more. We'll smoke one more and then I'm out of here. I gotta take care of some stuff. Gotta pack up some cards I sold, things like that. Impeccable timing, right? You can see it's it's snowing pretty decent up there. This is Snow Summit right here that we're watching now. I mean, they're loving it. It's a nice the one just bailed right near my head. I just gotta keep out, watch them. They're definitely bailing. They're bailing, but I mean, it's not too packed. I'd say it's perfect, right? I mean, right, skiers? I mean, I guess you can't have it so empty sometimes. I'd say it's prime conditions. Look at those guys up. Dude, those dudes were going around the tree trail like up there. I don't think they were supposed to be up there. USA winning tonight? It'll be a great game against them in Japan. I mean, we hope. I mean, they won last year. But I thought the Dominican Republic had a really good chance this year, but they got bounced earlier, so I don't know nothing. I know nothing. Yes, Heather will be on later tonight at 8 p.m. We shall be on at 8 p.m. Hopefully you'll join us. Be fun. I don't think we'll get a chase, though, to be honest with you. Only because it's raining. You know what I mean? So the rain will hamper the helicopters and... yeah, and even if the news decides to go up, a lot of the times they're busy, showing you, what do you call it? They're busy showing you like, like the river rescue or, something else, just flooding, all that kind of jazz. Damn, that's a big ass hill right there. Hold on, look at that. Hold on, wait, hold on. Wait till this. Hold on, is it this one? Hold on, where is it? It's that one. Okay. So wait till this one goes back. I want you guys to see the top of that hill. That shit looks awfully big. Not this one. But this, it must be like the triple black diamond, bro. Like, that shit was like crazy. You can see the lifts going up it. Come on, get up there. That path up there, I think. You see the cleared path up on that hill? There it is. Look at that shit. Look how steep it is. The fuck out of here. Bro, you're going over right there. You're tumbling like a motherfucker on either of those. Especially the one up top. Get the fuck out of here, dude. Yeah, that is steep. Don't get out. Don't tell me that ain't steep. That's pretty fucking steep. You can hit. Come on. You don't think that's that bad? Come on. Well, you go right into a tree like Sonny did. That's pretty steep. Don't give me that shit. Look at the track of fucking the top one, like going up to the top. Get out of here. That's pretty steep. That's Nope Fuel. This is Bear Mountain that we're looking at right now. We went to Mammoth, we went to Snow Summit, now we're at Bear Mountain. The only one left is really Mountain High, which is like the lowest, the first resort that you go, I think. That's like the closest. Usually people want to go to Mammoth, that's the best. But it's always packed. Big Bear, Bear Mountain, I guess, is Big Bear. Beerwalde. Yeah, it's beautiful, man. I mean, it's a perfect day for like snowmen and snowball fight, and skiing, snowboarding. Having some hot cocoa in the morning. I don't know. I don't think. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Yeah. Snow bunny, sorry. That's pretty steep to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys are just super skiers. And you guys like, dude, moguls are way steeper, bro. Like, you don't even know, dude. So I don't know. I mean, here's another one. the slopes. I mean, it doesn't seem that steep there. But, I mean, these dudes are coming in pretty quick, dude. Watch the snowboarders. They're coming in pretty fast, dude. Knock a motherfucker over like Gwyneth Paltrow. So there's a whole trial of her going on. Apparently, she allegedly knocked somebody over, but she's saying it was his fault. The dude's 75, is like an optometrist, broke 4 ribs. He says he has brain damage, suing for like, I don't know, 500 grand or a little more, something like that. It's crazy. It wasn't here though, by the way. I don't know what resort it was, but it wasn't here. Oh, look at the tubing going down. I want to do the tubing. That's what I'd be doing. Let's see if the snowboarder goes down. Any of these guys. See, he's bombing. Look at that shit. Don't tell me he ain't going fast. He's bombing. He's bombing the hill. From skiing, yeah, Blacklight. Apparently they were both skiing. She was in Utah. Okay, somewhere in Utah. And somehow they collided. He's saying it was her fault. She's saying it was his fault. Kind of thing. He says, she's saying. And there's a trial going on right now about it. She's saying that, he's suing for so much because of who she is. And he was like an optometrist who's 75, is an older man. And I guess he was working. Now he can't work. Can't be an optometrist anymore. But I mean, you're 75. I don't know how much longer you're going to be an optometrist. I mean, at some point I figure you would retire. But I guess that doesn't have anything to do with it, right? See, all alone, having fun. Perfect day. Nobody to bother you. Nobody zooming by you. Having fun. Who is she again? That's some actress, Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know. I don't know what movie she's in. I couldn't name one. I do know that she is a famous actress, though. She is that. Unfortunate as it may be. All right, so we'll hit that last one right now in a sec, and we'll get going. We'll get going. Oh, yeah. Let's see. The Snow Bowl in Arizona, huh? The Grand Canyon lift. Look at this. This is in Arizona right here. This has to be Flagstaff. This gotta be Flagstaff. Look at that shit. It is fucking snowing good in Terry's state. Turry. Good old Turry. Pretty nice, right? They call it, I guess, the Arizona Bowl. Man, it's coming down. It is a coming down, man. Isn't that paradise? I mean, as a skier or a snowboarder, right? Isn't that like the perfect thing? Like, I mean, isn't it, how could the conditions get any better, right? Isn't that exactly what you're asking for? It's almost a whiteout even. Look how, imagine further up the hill, it only gets worse. Oh, I just bailed right there. Oh, you bailed too, son. Shouldn't have done the trick. Right? It's perfect, right? No, it's better after the storm. Ah, okay. So you don't want to be in the slush, in the snow. You want it all done, past, and perfect and sunny with all the fresh powder on the ground. I don't know, man. I think I'd want to be like that, because that's the true way to do it. Look, everybody bailing right there. Yeah, I don't know. I think what's the temperature there? I don't know. You'd have to Google what Flagstaff, Arizona, at the Arizona Bowl is. Put it in your phone. I would venture to say somewhere in the teens. Maybe 19, 20 degrees, somewhere in that range, I would guess. I mean, it looks like it's raining and snowing a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's just a really good snow flurry. And, if you look, at Snow Summit, it's not really like, let's go to Snow Summit for a second. It's not really coming down. I mean, a little bit you can see. See what I mean? You'll get a flake here and there coming by. But it's certainly not... is this dude pissing, making yellow snow? What's he doing over there? As you can see, it's totally different. I mean, it's obviously a state away, but yeah. It's fucking perfect conditions, bro. Full whiteout, dude.
Smoke.
I'm about to get some skiing drops now. Dude, let's get a skiing drop, dude. Fresh pal. Fucking fresh pal. That's what I want. Fresh pal. Alright, so here's the main lodge at Mammoth. It's pretty packed. You can see the rack over there. It's fucking filled. And you can see it's almost a whiteout, wouldn't you say? Like it's almost dangerous to be out there. Wouldn't you agree? It's fucking... Maybe that's what you're saying, right? That's why it's better to be after the storm and not during the storm, because then you have to deal with like that. I mean, look, you could barely see the lift right there. I mean, that shit is pretty... Yeah, come on. It snowed in Fontana at 39. I don't think that was snow. It's probably hail. Because it's not cold enough at 39. Usually it's 32 degrees or less. 32 is the freezing point. Where it actually turns to snow. Yeah, that shit looks crazy, right? It's fucking dangerous. Be out there in that joint. And, yeah. So they're all confirming saying it can snow at that thing, so maybe you're right. I'm sure it wasn't too much, but it's definitely cool, right? I mean, you'll take even a little bit at that point. Ow. So the confirmation is real. Look at that shit. Trying to make it up. Trying to make it. It's good to see people still skiing too, though. I know snowboarding is like the shit and everybody loves it a lot more, but still cool, you know? Still cool to see people doing that. Huh. Yeah, they don't have, Yeah, we'll be on later tonight, Natalie. 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. All right, let's see here. That's not what I'm looking for. This is the West Base Cam. What happened to the other one I had? No, I had that other one that I wanted to look at. Fuck. Yeah, this is it. So this is J3, the top, I guess. June Mountain. And look, there's somebody down there. Look, they're fucking up there, dude. That's crazy, dude. I mean, it's ballsy just to be up there, dude. And be in that slush and snow and just think to yourself, if it gets really bad all of a sudden, a thick cloud comes in, you don't even know where you're at. You know? You don't even know where the fuck you're at. Those are blizzard-like conditions? Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. It's dangerous. And you see the lifts running. They shouldn't be running the lifts. Well, I guess they're fine to keep them running, right? So they don't get... But there should be nobody on them and nobody skiing down there. But we just saw somebody, so... Yeah. But I don't think there's that many... I think it's like surfing, kind of, right? Where you have people that enjoy surfing, but when the waves get crazy... It's only a certain amount of people that are willing to get in there and risk their lives and surf those waves. You know? And I think it may be the same with skiers and snowboarders, you know? Only certain amount of people are willing to risk their lives in these ultimate storm, buddy. 20 years, bruh. 20 years. We've never seen it. I can see it now. Them convincing each other. Bruh. Then you can go to fucking Mountain High. Look at Mountain High. Just looks like shit. Like nobody there. Like 4 people at Mountain High. More workers than there are people. All these chairs. Like, I mean, what is that about? Like, why throw the chairs all on top? I guess because that way they don't have freeze and have snow on them, I guess. Just looks kind of shoddy. Looks Mountain High-esque. And Mountain High, you ask anybody that skis and snowboards here in California, they'll tell you that Mountain High is like the worst. It just is. It's not the nicest. And I believe it's the closest mountain. So I think that's why people go. So they don't have to travel that far. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Fire risk? I don't think it's no fire risk. It just looks like shit. You know what I mean? If I was the owner of the resort, you know, coming by like one of those secret owners, I'd be like, man, that shit don't look good. That shit don't look hot. Doesn't look inviting. It looks just disorganized. You know what I mean? Then you got a tree. Hold on. Let me look at where I'm at real quick. Let me do something really fast. You got a tree that's on its fucking side. Well, where am I? Here I go. Look at the tree where I'm at, where I was at. There's literally a tree like kicked over on its side. Like nobody could have walked over and picked the tree up. It takes 2 seconds. Even if it was just kicked over a moment ago by some ratty kid or whatever. You know? One chair lifts. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that's yeah, you can tell. I didn't even notice that. I didn't even recognize that. That's just, you know, that's par for the course. This place is like that. But funny enough as it is, like you guys were telling me, I think it's like $175 a day for the lift ticket here. So I can only imagine what it is at Big Bear or Snow Summit. It's got to be way more. They're way better mountains. Way better conditions. Right, Jeff? It just ain't a good look. That's all I'm saying. Like look, you only have one time to impress somebody. As soon as they come to your restaurant or your detail shop or whatever it is, your ice cream store, your muffin shop, whatever it is. If you have a shoddy, if they have a shoddy look at you, because your shit looks fucked up, they may come back, but they'll always have that thought. But when you dazzle them right off the jump, they're always willing to come back. And then they're stifled by something actually being bad looking. Like, usually we come in and it's really great. You know what I mean? I think that's really how it works. So you only have one chance to impress in that sense. It's really big when you have a business or a brand. I don't know who the fuck Goop is. Know nothing about that shit. Uh-oh, we got a fucking snowboarder gang. Why are they all like that? Are they learning? Is that what it is? Are they teaching them? Like how to just move with one? There's just no way they're all moving to the lifts like that. That's just weird. They're definitely beginners. They look like they are. That looks like me trying to be out there right now. Noobs. Snowboard class. I guess it's a good day. Well, you don't have a lot of people out there. That's what I'm saying. Nobody run them over. Because seriously, dude, people do get hurt so much. You don't even hear about it. Fools that are flying that really know what they're doing. And then, they just, a noob falls over in front and bang. It's a serious collision. Some of these fucking dudes get really moving. Earthquake right now. Where? Not here. You have to scoot on flats with a snowboard. I would think at that point, to be honest with you, it would have been so much easier just to do what that man's doing right there. You unbuckle the motherfucker and you walk all the way over there, and then you buckle that son of a bitch when you go through the doors. There is a smart man. The guy going in there right now. And that would be Damon. Laughing at all the idiots that were doing the little side paddle. Okay? I mean, it just, I don't know. There's working hard and there's working smart. And believe it or not, there are two people on some of those lifts. If you look at it, look at that lift right there. The second one to the top. Or the top one right now. The two red. I mean, there's two on there. That's dangerous, though. Dude, that thing must be rocking, bro. Because you can see how one person can take up most of it. Two on there, oh boy. Hurry up and get me off that motherfucker. Let me get off this motherfucker, man, or I'll fall over. I have a dead cat on my chair. Look at him. Look at this fool right now. I mean, dude, look at him. How do I lay back? How do I lay back? Like, have you ever seen a cat just laying like that on the top of a fucking chair? I mean, really. Don't tell me that cat ain't the most comfortable at its moment right now. I mean, look at him. He is just out like a light. Out like a light. This fool right now. He is crashed, Tyrone. I mean, I'm going to take the Sharpie out and start drawing on him. It's just weird, Like, Maria, I can't even lay back all the way because he's got his legs back there, and then I'll wake him up. And he's like, well, wait a minute, this is my chair. I guess he feels that that's acceptable to just lay like that, so I can't even lay back. Crazy cat. Dude, these tuxedo cats are wild, dude. Not to say all cats are wild, but I think tuxedo cats are a little more wild, man. He's just chilling. Hey, sold a Brad Keselowski card. Use him as a pillow. I do every once in a while for just a second, but he doesn't like it. I mean, this fool sleeps with me, and every night, and fucking uses me as a pillow. Well, he uses my leg, really. He likes to sleep against my leg. He's a weirdo. Calicos are crazy. Yeah, I mean, all cats have their little funny quirks, He's got his. He's a weirdo. Like, I bought him that, or you guys, thank you, by the way, guys. Since we haven't been spending the money on the treats and stuff, since he's in a diet, I bought him a nice carrier because the carrier I had before was just like tight for him. He was getting so big, and it was a smaller one. So I'm going to give this smaller one to my friend who's got a small dog. So that way he's got a better, cleaner, newer carrier to take his animal, or his dog, to the vet. So I'm going to do that. And then, I put pictures on Instagram of him. Literally he just goes in there and lies in there, and he loves it. It's all open air. It's a great little cradle, man. It's big. It's for a small dog. It's got nice little, like a lamb, like that, like kind of like that woolly kind of lamb cover on the bottom, so they can lay, and snaps together. You know what I mean? And it has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Has 5 different exit holes, so they can see through every side and the top. You can put them through any side. The openings are really big, so they get used to going into it and have fun with it. So when you have to take them to the vet, it's not a big fucking deal getting them in there kind of thing. So, yeah. Yeah. Can we do another helicopter rental? Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do that. I would. The only problem is just trying to get some of that equipment, that we got last time. A lot of that was through Scott, and Scott isn't here as far as I know. So I don't know. It would, it would be fun though. Definitely be on my list. You know what I mean? Because again, that's a big part of it, having the good cameras and stuff filming it versus me sitting in there or somebody sitting in there with their iPhone kind of thing. Doesn't really make sense. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to not make sense? I think it does. Yeah, it'd be fun, man. It'd be fun to get another helicopter tour up there, or, helicopter ride for 3 hours like we did last time. I'm with it. Not opposed to it. Be really fun to get a chase, dude. I mean, it would be just so... it'd be just so awesome to be... Could you imagine that? Like, being up and be like as soon as they go up, the chase is, like, right there. They're broadcasting on it. Like, it would be just so awesome. Sheesh, it would be great. Will I show old chases again? Mike, dude, they started really tagging my account every time and forcing the videos down and stuff like that, Mike. It's a problem, I don't know. I'll figure out a way. I may do it, but then it means that I have to, get rid of the video as soon as we're done. We'll have to, not upload it. And a lot of people, I've read in the comments that a lot of people can't and, sometimes miss it live. So they do enjoy watching it the next day, which I didn't think they would do. So I think some of those folks will be kind of bummed, but, yeah, that's the only problem with that. You know what I mean? Would he ride in a basket? Oh no, he wouldn't do that. He's still pretty frightened of outside. I mean, he was pretty good with this new carrier when I took him to the vet last week or whatever it was, almost 2 weeks ago. He was really good. He whined a little bit for a block or two, but after that, he was good because he could see out. Before I had like those cardboard boxes or the other crate where you could only really see out one side. And, this time I had him on the seat next to me so I could hold him in case anything happened. And, let him look outside. And he was just kind of like, oh shit, what's going on? Cars moving. And what are these? Like, he doesn't really see cars. So, yeah, all that stuff. It's kind of like Brooks when they let Brooks out of jail in fucking Shawshank Redemption and he never saw a car. Saw a car once in 1902. He went to jail so long, he came out and cars were everywhere, remember? Brooks was here. Yeah, he's a sweet guy, man. They even told me that. Like, oh, he's really good. He let us look at him, and he didn't bite or scratch or nothing, because I was kind of worried, because I asked him to clip the nails, because I do, but it'd be nice to get them done professionally every once in a while, so. And, they tend to grow back pretty fast. So, yeah, he was a good boy. And I really do see a slight difference already with him in energy and a little bit of weight difference. It's probably lost, I'd say a quarter pound, maybe something like that. I'm definitely making him run around more, so, that way he has a little more energy. It's crazy now. It's funny. Hold on. Now I'm watching the camera. It wasn't snowing that much just now at Mountain High, but now look at it. It's starting to... The storm is definitely moving in. Mountain High. Let's see if you look in the chairs. You can see that. It's even fucking with the camera. It's shaking the camera, the wind and the snow. The wind in the snow, the wind in the snow is shaking the camera. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. tonight. Hopefully you can join us. If not, enjoy your Taco Tuesday, whatever you're going to do. So I appreciate everything you do for me and for each other, of course. So on behalf of and myself, I will see you guys later tonight. You guys be good. All right? I'll see you on the next one.
Hasta la vista, baby.
There you go. I'm a going home.